Hello, everybody, and welcome to, hopefully for real this time, the season finale of Godforce. And I gotta adjust the cameras here. And the reason I say hopefully is because this finale is apparently very cursed. Obviously, if you were here last week, you know we had to put it off for something else. This week, people in my Discord know this, but this week, my fire alarm is actively going off right now. Now, it's not going off in my apartment, so you shouldn't be able to hear it, but there's a big storm in Texas right now, and lightning struck my building and caused some sort of electrical problem, and now there's loud noises. I can hear it, but again, you shouldn't be able to, so should be good. Yes, people are saying Sticks in chat. Mike is here. Mike is returning as Sticks after the... I don't even know what to call it. The absolute unhinged insanity that was Godforce Oops All Goblins. On that note, we might as well just go ahead and jump right in with a very funny concept, which is, does anyone want to take the recap from last week? We don't need it, but I think it'd be funnier. Actually, Momo, have you watched the episode?
Have I watched the episode? I have watched most of it. I'd say.
Okay,
I didn't finish
you're
the whole
lucky
thing,
then. If you had finished it, I would have made you do it. I would have been like Momo as the one person who was not there.
Because I was actively throwing up with food poisoning. Okay, note to chat. When food experts say, hey, don't eat undercooked ground beef. Don't eat undercooked ground beef. Just have a well-done patty, even though it tastes terrible.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yes, I always get my burgers well done. Don't eat raw meat, kids.
Listen, medium well is good, except when it gives you food poisoning. That is not
medium
good.
well is good, except when it poisons you. But you know what?
Just have a well done burger.
People are. Oh no! People are already mad about the death of Mom.
Cry harder. I can't hear you.
Suffer. Technically, she hasn't died yet. You don't know her fate because we ended with.
Yeah. Because she's the season 3 big bad. So
you never saw her. Maybe she's like some gigantic mutated monstrosity who is going to be that. What just happened to the cameras? Oh.
Sorry, that was me. My thing got jostled.
Oh no, you're all good. It came back into normal. So.
Yeah. Before you start. Blood-Soaked King knows Sakura Zushi, which is just raw horse meat in Japan. It is a delicacy. You can eat raw meat, just don't eat raw ground beef. Like ground meat. Don't do that.
A lot of animals, I would dare to say all but us, eat meat raw. So it's not like it's going to automatically kill you, but, you know.
Yeah, just not from multiple, like... different members of the same meat. That's where the danger comes.
Good to everyone write that down.
Okay, now back to the show. Sorry.
Anyway, do we want to...
There will be a test.
So again, this is the season finale of the season of... Sorry, I'm very scattered still because there is an alarm going off, but my headphones are blocking out most of it, so I'll be good. As I said, this is the season finale of Godforce. Do we want to plug our stuff really quick? Because we do have Patreon that we launched last week, but that's mostly Momo's initiative, and she was unexpectedly not there. So I'm going to toss over to her to plug that really quick, and then we'll do the quick stuff, and then we'll get into the episode.
Hell yeah, Patreon. We have a Patreon. Join our Patreon because we do have a Discord that is linked to it, and you can only access it if you are a Patreon member. We have a Cemetery War tier, which is our $1 tier, and then our God tier, which is our $5 tier. The $5 tier is where you're going to get our after show, which will have a second episode airing this weekend. If not Saturday, because I'm a little busy, then Sunday. Be there or be squared, I guess. This is not a good pitch, but you know.
The Patreon pitch got so messed up time-wise because we were ready for it last week, and then that didn't happen, but it does exist. We did get it launched before the end of the season. And I guess that's now a good time to sort of talk about mid-season content while we're on that subject. Now, you don't have to say anything if you don't want to. I don't know how much I didn't ask you to prepare this. But if you would like to say anything, Nathan, do you want to talk at all about what our mid-season content is going to be after today? And again, you can say no and we'll move on, and that can be the teaser. But
I will talk a little bit. Ooh, how much do I want to reveal?
I can talk about the merch first if you want to think about it for a second. Okay,
talk about the merch first.
There's not really that much to say. We have merch. We have shirts. We have hoodies that we recently added because it's starting to get cold. We have stickers of all of the player characters that we have art for, and then both the Symmetry War and Godforce logos. Someone asked, I need to look at this. Someone asked if we had the stickers on a black background. I don't know if we have that level of control. We don't at the moment. There's just stickers on the white background. But I will look. I will see if we can enable that because it shouldn't be that difficult to do. But we do have, again, at the link I just put in, the shirts, the hoodies, the stickers, etc. Nathan, back to you.
Yes. So the campaign that I'll be running is unlike Symmetry War and Symmetry Godforce. It is going to not be very combat oriented at all. Imagine what would happen if all of the 1% got on a cruise ship and played in a game show to basically rule the economy for the next year. That's what our players are going to be playing as, is those contestants. And as an incentive as well for you to sign up for the Patreon, there will be elements of this game show where we need audience votes, and only people on the Patreon will be able to participate in that. So if you want to get ahead of the curve, Patreon.
Yeah, we're also going to be dropping some hints on about our characters on the Patreon when that time comes
we did
around.
make our characters yesterday, actually. We had a meeting yesterday, and I'm not going to say a word, but I'm very excited to be a player character for you guys. It's been, I don't think I've ever done that, actually. I've only been the DM on this show specifically. I've only been the DM for the past, 3 or 4 years. So this is going to be, I am very much looking forward to it. I like the world that Nathan has built. Again, not saying any specifics. It's going to be a very, very enjoyable time. And if you want to see me as a player for the first time, that's, we agree we're starting that. I believe the scheduling is... Yes. Let me pull it up. Yes, we are. The current plan for mid-season, and then we'll actually get into the finale, is we are going to do bi-weekly stuff as much as it seems. So next week we're taking off. The first episode of Nathan's game is going to be the 18th. We're then going to take off the 25th for Thanksgiving. The second episode of Nathan's thing is going to be on the 2nd, take off the 9th. And then the final episode of Nathan's thing is going to be on the 16th. Season 3 will be sometime in early 2023. Exact deadline TBD because people are looking for jobs and stuff. But that is the plan for mid-season, is we're going to go to bi-weekly so that there's a little bit more time in between, a little bit more of a break. And it also makes Nathan's thing a bit more distinct since it is totally lore separate from the rest of the campaign.
Yes.
So it will be very enjoyable. Someone else said, yes, we have sticks tonight. We do. So on that note, I said this kind of as a joke at the beginning. Does anyone want to very quickly take a recap of last episode? Because I make jokes about it not mattering. It matters a little bit.
It matters a little bit. I'll
sure.
take the
Go for
recap.
it, Mike.
So we cut to basically a goblin village that was happening at the same time as the events of the last episode. Deleters, blank showed up. It started getting deleted. I'm Styx Bradley. I was just a normal paladin for hire at the beginning of the day. That changed. We also had Cog, who lived with his mother and later revealed that he had never known the touch of a woman, which was a big part of his motivation to eventually go here.
Confusingly big part of his motivation, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, the aliens are genderless, so I mean, I don't know what he was seeing in there. They're just shapes.
Yeah,
You don't know.
and Pan.
I am arguably the only one who does.
True. And Panda was Krieglin Shitstealer, a reformed thief who immediately relapsed in the face of the apocalypse. We all bandied together, found Vaktan in a hut in the middle of everything, tried to get his help to end the deleters. He instantly got deleted. Passed his powers on to Styx, because I was a paladin of him, and I got new cool god powers and hand mouths, which if I've seen preoccupied...
Oh my
like,
God.
I'm so
this, I
proud
was
of
That's
you all.
amazing.
I'm so proud of you all. I don't have... I actually do. I do have my Moon Knight cloak on me right now. It's right here if I want to do some form of costume where I can just kind of throw this on. I'm sure that will work great with these headphones that have ears on them. I'll figure that out later. Anyway, And now we kind of return to where we were at the beginning of last week's episode, at which point I do kind of have a question for the party, which is how exactly do we want to handle that? For those who were not there last episode, what happened is you probably gathered. We did like about half an hour of the finale, and then Momo got sick, and we had to delay it for her, and then we did the totally improv Oops All Goblins one shot. So do we just want to, like, if we didn't do much in that first half hour, do we just want to, like, quick couple sentence recap it? Do we want to do, like, a 5-10 minute super sped up version of it? What do you guys want to do? I'll leave that sort of to a vote of the party, because it won't take long either way.
I think a quick couple sentence recap is fine, considering we really didn't do anything.
We went to a place.
Yeah, that is fair.
That is the recap.
We went to East. We're underground looking for Callisto.
So what is going on right now in the world of Ventral is not very good. I guess I should probably say what's left of the world, because Dream's plan has succeeded, and the strange eldritch alien creatures known as the Blank are launching their full-scale invasion right now. Though maybe I've been calling it an invasion. They're just getting rid of stuff. Maybe invasion is the wrong word, but annihilation is probably better, and then I can call it a Marvel reference too.
Okay.
So there is, at the moment, it seems like one way to fix this, and it is time travel. It's kind of too late to get rid of the aliens, as best you can tell. Maybe you'll figure out something in this episode, but the current plan is time travel. And the way that's going to be achieved is with the several pieces of the time machine that you've gotten, or like the magical elements of the time machine that are required to make it work, that are right now being integrated into Sky Skimmer, being upgraded to Time Skimmer. Time Skimmer has been augmented by Barry, the god of metal, and is currently being upgraded by Doc. So you guys, your whole crew, except Styx will join in a bit. Your whole crew is on Sky Skimmer, just kind of waiting. Doc is working right now. You don't know exactly how long it's going to take. As things go, you might be able to get a more solid idea of how long it's going to be, but you don't know right now. So what this is sort of an extended worldwide boss fight in a way. Basically, you guys have until Doc gets ready to do whatever you want in the world. You can take Sky Skimmer with sort of full fast travel unlocked. You can try to pick up supplies. You can try to pick up friends and allies. You did try to pick up Callisto. We'll go to that in a second. You can do whatever you want, but the Blank are here, and the time machine kind of acts as a beacon to them. So you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, but the boss fight is going to be following you for the extent of this session, and you just gotta survive it. That is the goal. What you decided to do first, in the sense of picking up allies, I believe that was the first intent, was you were going to try to find Callisto. And because of some magical barriers that Callisto is hiding behind to, presumably hide from the Blank, you figured out that he was in some sort of fortress and learned that was in East, the mining city that you guys had not been to yet in the campaign. Momo has been there before. But you guys got there and kind of quickly realized that since most of East is underground, it doesn't seem like they know what's going on, because the Blank are coming from space. And the invasion, they're not cracking the continent in half yet. So East doesn't really know what's going on. And I believe where we last left off is you had very quickly gone down through East, found your way to what you believe to be Callisto's fortress, and there was a magically enchanted wall in front of you that was blocking your passage. And I guess we'll just go ahead and start off right there, if that's good with everybody. The last thing, last thing was I think Glib shot an Eldritch Blast at it, and it bounced off and ricocheted around the tunnel and almost caused damage, but did not, thankfully.
Yes, I think that was the last thing. Okay. Anybody else got any ideas? Shooting it did not work.
Did you just try knocking? Like, SG goes up to the door and just, like...
Door? I thought it was a wall.
Yeah, I believe what I described it as, like, sort of the very stereotypical, like, wooden barrier blocking off a mine shaft. But that's some sort of illusion, or the wooden barrier is enchanted in some way. Yeah, SG goes up and just kind of knocks on the barrier. And you see it sort of shimmer, and on your final knock, your hand passes through. So it's like knock, knock, the barrier shimmers, and you just go right through it.
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
Yes, this is what you must do. You must work smart and not hard. There was no need to shoot off blast. It's definitely reinforced for magic.
Got it.
Could also be that the guy in here just
Okay.
wants you in there. It doesn't have to be that it was a trick.
That's also a possibility.
You guys were going to meet this dude. You just knocked, and he was like, "Oh, it's them."
Let's get on in.
So you guys enter enter the room, and can immediately tell something. The environment of this old mine shaft changes rapidly the second you step through this barrier. It's not, I would say, like high tech or high tech for the world. It's a fantasy world, but it's not incredibly advanced. But it's not the dingy old abandoned mine shaft that you were in. And in there is Callisto and a couple of Order agents. They kind of... I want everybody to actually roll an insight check on sort of what's going on in there.
Who?
That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Ooh. And 22.
That's great. So you guys all can
We know.
You look... you look in, and you see sort of what you usually see when you're looking at Callisto and his agents doing work. Which is they're running around looking at, scrolls and sheets and sort of magical holograms, trying to analyze everything that they can. But as you look, you kind of get the sense that, like, there's not a lot of cohesion going on. It sort of seems almost like they're doing something just kind of for the sake of doing something and don't actually really know how this is going to help, if that makes any sense. Like, you can't really...
Right.
It doesn't seem like they're working towards a common goal. They're just kind of looking at things, and you get sort of a general sense of hopelessness from most of them, which is probably pretty ominous considering that this guy is the supposedly most powerful mortal on the continent. And he looks up at you as you come in and goes, "Good, you're here. There's something, at least." And then he just looks back down at what he's working on and ignores you.
You have something to help with this? We came to get you. We have a plan. Do you have a plan?
If you have a plan, I would absolutely love to hear it, though forgive me for not having a lot of faith in you.
Yeah, we didn't save the entire world a couple of times. It's fine. We do have a plan. You're not gonna like it until you get on the boat.
He hears the boat and kind of looks up at you for a second. And then he maybe processes that it's Sky Skimmer and is like...
Yeah. All right, Callisto, let's just cut to the point. We stole Prophis, and we are going to go get him now. It's a long story, we will explain on the way. Let's go. We have no time.
I turned to SG. What?
To be clear for the audience, that is not true.
That's not true. Well,
No.
Definitely you're going to have to make a deception check for that.
I would have known. In canon, there was a moment of silence, and then Glib turned to her and went, "What?"
Isn't it so obvious? Well, we have someone that went missing. We are on time machine mission. Obviously, we are the ones that stole him from time to bring back to wherever time to fix this. It's so obvious.
I mean, yeah, you're...
Interesting.
Tell the most powerful person that we stole his boyfriend.
Well, we didn't steal him yet, but we are going to go steal him now.
Okay. I think my reaction to this is actually pretty similar to what Callisto's is, which is just kind of staring at you for a second. And then, after a moment, he just sort of throws his hands up in the air. He goes, "All right, whatever, let's go." And follows and just kind of he actually just walks right past you out of the room. More like, you can tell his attitude is very much more fuck it than usual, which is not a very good sign from this guy. He doesn't believe you, obviously, but the sense that you get is just like, okay, this is, it's either sitting in here doing nothing or sitting out there doing nothing. Might as well go somewhere else.
This is my life.
Yes, we are just going to go on time machine and steal back your husband.
I think he doesn't even respond to that one because he still, again, does not really believe you and is very confused about the very weird wording that you're using. But regardless, I want everybody to make a perception check as you guys are... I'm assuming you're walking back out. You can do anything else.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That'd be a nat 1.
Oof.
Glib, you have no idea what's going on. You don't sense
I
anything.
am still completely desensitized by SG's lie that I am just.
It's not lie. It's so obvious. This is like we have someone that went missing, and we have time machine. We obviously went to past to steal person because we need them in future.
You're making
I got a
lot
26.
of assumptions
26.
about our future actions here.
Okay, SG, can you actually? I should probably do a Callisto for.
Oh, I got
okay,
a
Callisto
4.
senses it as well.
I'm too busy explaining.
Yeah.
the
She was
situation
arguing
to
with Glib
everyone.
the entire
That
time.
I'm the only one that obviously understands how time travel works, and everyone needs to get on my
So
level.
SG and Glib are both distracted. I'm assuming arguing with each other by those sorts of phrasings. However, good bid. You feel it's very slight, but you feel a rumble in the earth. And a second after this, Callisto kind of glances over at you as well with and you get the sense it's kind of like a "Did you feel that too?"
What was that?
What does what?
There's a little bit of a rumbling happening.
You said you got a 26, right? I'm
yeah.
actually gonna. That's a very good roll. So I'm actually gonna give you it. It doesn't really come from the sense that where do you expect a rumble to come from? It comes from above you, which is maybe worse right now.
I think
Especially
we should
considering we're
make
in East.
haste. I think we should pick up and move, gang. He's gonna start just going.
Yeah, Callisto's gonna follow you. I'm assuming the others are going to do so as well.
We would already be at the time machine if it didn't take me so long to explain how time travel works
That
to you.
isn't how
fine.
time travel.
It is absolutely how time travel
Also, the
works.
conversation was like
Kidding me?
30 seconds. Regardless, this is one of those very fun questions I gotta ask. What order are you guys walking in? I'm assuming it's Goodbit and Callisto first, since you guys were the first to
Yeah.
notice the rumble. But correct me if I'm wrong.
I would argue me, Callisto, then whoever follows.
That's what I'm thinking. In that case,
I feel like it's like Glib and SG like side by side.
good
running.
bit. As you approach the end of the tunnel that you came in through, you notice, and again, you got that 26. I'm just going to let ride for a bit. The end
Let's
of the
go.
tunnel is much brighter than it used to be. Like there's light coming in from something.
That always used to be that way.
Okay. Let's see. We need different exit out. Callisto, you got anything for that?
He looks over at you and thinks for a second, goes, I could blast the tunnel wall out and we could just go that way. I'm sure that would be just as idiotic as any of our other options.
All right, we really need you to cut the nihilism shit because we're actually trying to get out of here.
You see his chaos hand. I forgot which hand is his chaos hand, but you see his chaos hand rise up. Hold on, I heard a fire truck outside, and given that lightning struck my building a bit ago, okay, that's going away. We're good.
Yeah.
You see his chaos hand rise up and start, like, kind of crackling with energy, like he is actually genuinely considering blasting a hole in the side of this tunnel right now.
All right, let's go.
Are we gonna fucking move, man?
Oh, you want? Okay, sure.
Yes.
I was expecting you were going to stop him from that because that was going to cause a cave-in, but sure, whatever.
We can deal with.
He
the
thinks
discussion.
about it for a second and goes, ugh. And you see just a massive burst of multicolored energy. I guess he probably aims it up a little bit, trying to kind of carve a tunnel to the surface. Just sort of
Right.
burst out of his hand and carve a very large cylinder at a walkable angle up to the surface. Let me roll to see how... Okay, it was a good enough roll that it's not going to be caving in immediately. I am going to need everybody to make a dexterity check for going up, because steep, smooth tunnel in rumbling earth that has just been carved out of stuff.
Dexterity check, dexterity save.
I'll give
Nat
you
20, nat 20.
acrobatics or athletics, whichever's higher. I'll give you.
Okay.
I'll do that logic for that.
Notice.
I heard nat 20 for SG.
That'd be
Okay.
a 6.
I'm trying to get out
SG's
of
fine.
here.
That'd be a 6, but I can crawl on walls.
Oh, I
Does that help?
was actually about to say yes. Glib, you can do it with advantage because you're sticky. You have things that
Okay,
can
cool.
help
I'll
for
just
this.
roll one more time.
I got a 14.
Advantage.
All right.
That's still a 6.
Okay.
Oh,
So
that's stinky.
Are you kidding me?
Nice.
Can I say I like take glaive on my back with my nat 20?
you did get a nat 20. Oh, there's a fire truck.
I did get
again.
a nat 20,
Oh boy.
so 22.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you since you got a nat 20. So Glib, you sort of try to jump and grab onto the wall as best you can, and another rumble immediately passes through and just kind of shakes you off. But as you fall, SG grabs you and is able to pull you up. And now getting to...
Piggyback.
Yeah, you just kind of grab him,
piggyback.
swing him onto your back, and book it up there.
Still
Now,
not admitting you're right about time travel.
as you get to the surface, it is pretty obvious from the much more white sky that you can see at the top of the tunnel that somehow the blank have reached this location. Are you doing anything before you come out of the tunnel onto the surface proper, or just running out there?
Do we have to signal to Mercury?
Good thought.
Because
Yes. Mercury did not stay in the same location. He
Mercury
wanted
did
to
not
keep
stay in the
moving.
same location.
Wait, I have a kind of question
Yeah.
for the DM. Since it is now a time travel machine, and Jared is programmed with my DNA, does that mean there's like a homing beacon up for me?
You have no way of knowing that. What are you trying to think? Like, well, no. Here's the thing. That's a good line of thinking. So maybe, but you don't know. So what are you doing to sort of figure that out?
Would SG have the gall
I
to
just
do
think-
it anyway, even if she didn't know?
Oh no, I 100% think so. That's
I
the
say,
question.
I say, Jared,
Oh,
to
you're just
me.
shouting. Okay, are you just shouting, Jared, to me? Okay, that
Yes.
doesn't do anything. As far as actually, that doesn't do anything as far
Okay,
as
fine,
you
then
know.
I think it's really loud. I think it very loud.
Okay,
Jared, to
SG
me.
thinks it very loud, and again, I'm gonna say, as far as you know, nothing happens. Maybe, but you're not sure.
Right.
Once again, that's a good line of thinking,
I mean-
but
SG is the only one that can signal Mercury from pretty much anywhere.
Callisto could as well, technically, if you
French
told him
Stone
what was
still
up.
sluts.
I mean, we don't really have time to wait around and find out if that worked.
Yes, the rumbling is still happening, but you're
I'm
not
trying
sure
to save my
exactly as
still
to
slots.
you're not sure exactly why.
Probably.
Though actually, I should check something.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
What
You
would
don't have to
this
do
even,
that.
what check would this even be? I guess a perception. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh,
And these
God.
guys have
Don't
high
that.
perception.
Don't
Okay.
say you don't have to do.
As you guys are waiting, I'm assuming like close to the mouth of the tunnel, but not visible.
Yeah.
You see the rumbling, or well, not see. I guess see and feel the rumbling get much, 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 much louder. And farther down the tunnel, you see a hole open up in the side, and the very faint form of a blank rush through it, carving a tunnel on the other side as it goes. And from that, you kind of like a worm devouring the earth in a big cylinder around it as it's just shooting through. Like carving. It
it coming
does not
towards
coming
us?
towards you at the moment, but it has intersected the tunnel that you guys were in, so it's aware of it. And that seems to be what's
my
causing the
God.
rumbling, is they are carving these tunnels as they are looking for something.
Okay, I still have vials of that.
You
right?
do. You never got anyone to do anything with it, but yes.
I'm going to bank that this has some kind of Godforce
Okay.
energy. So I'm just going to throw it down the tunnel, down the shaft, to make it look like the energy is going down that way and distract the
Okay,
thing.
that's viable. Make a strength check to see how far you can throw it.
God damn it, man.
Small, but I mean it's a tunnel. I mean it's a long tunnel. You guys were well underground. Are you chunking it like 10 feet, or are you hurling it all the way down?
I'm trying to chuck it as far
Well, yeah, I figured
down as I can.
this is to see how far that is.
All right, I got -1 to strength, so Vaktan, please.
He's not here yet. He'll be here in 20 minutes.
Bogdan is dead.
I love the mouth
Feels-
hands.
That's a 5.
Six feels something in the force is like, that didn't feel right.
Excellent
that?
mouth hands.
Maybe if I wave my hands a little bit.
Wave my hands, it'll help.
That's
A
a
5?
5.
Wow.
Okay, so how many of the, actually, out of curiosity, how many of these vials do you have?
I probably took as much as I could carry, so I'd say like a decent amount. I'd say like
I was gonna say
maybe,
if you
10
say a decent amount but don't give a number, I'm gonna land on 10. Okay, so you chunk this thing down, not incredibly far, but the tunnel is sloping downwards, so that kind of helps your distance. It does go. You see it kind of crash. The vial breaks and some of the weird slime spreads across the ground. The rumbling is still going.
Well, that was my plan. Anyone else got a better plan?
Did you call Mercury?
Yeah, no one's called him yet, which is kind of
I
funny.
called Jared.
You again.
We need him here.
Callisto, can you call Mercury or Doc? Either one of them is fine.
Callisto, who at this point has sort of sat down, kind of into the wall of the tunnel. You see him, do some sort of weird magic thing, presumably sending some sort of signal. He doesn't respond to you. He just kind of does that and then sort of just goes back to his blank stare.
I liked it when you
I
were
don't
an
have time to
asshole
give you
more than you were
therapy.
despondent. So this is much more of a downgrade.
He looks at you, pauses for a second, and then utters a string of curses so rude that I can't say them on this stream. Just in deadpan tone.
Damn. Well, we're sitting ducks until
Alright.
Mercury gets here, so just keep your eyes peeled, gang.
After a moment, we'll go ahead and say, because Sky Skimmer does have, full fast travel unlocked, you hear the kind of characteristic noise of Sky Skimmer's, I don't want to say warp drive, but new warp drive, appear outside of the tunnel and kind of start a rotating pattern above Ys. You can kind of see it, going through the sky outside. Does not have an exact bead on where you guys are at the moment. It does not seem. And you know that there are tunnel monsters going around right now. So Mercury is here. How are you getting up there?
I have an idea. I do in the sky, and I do I prestidigitate the shape of a cloud in a sort of an arrow
you've done that one
downwards
before.
above us.
That does work. I guess I do need to roll a dexterity check for Mercury's piloting skills. He's quite good at it. That's a low roll, but luckily he is, again, quite good at it. So a moment later, Sky Skimmer, you see, I'm again assuming you're far enough down the tunnel, not be noticed. You see at the mouth of the tunnel, Sky Skimmer land real close, and Barry at the new entrance to the ship kind of just very frantically starts gesturing you guys on. You actually see him looking over to the side as if he's watching something else approach at the same time. So I would go.
Okay. Yep.
We're out
Yes,
of
and I'm
there.
going to assume again. We'll
Straight onto the boat.
I'm not even going to make you dexterity check for that. I'm going to assume that you guys were logical enough to be at a reasonable distance. So you get onto the boat, and literally the second the final one of you gets on, before the new entrance even closes, you all sort of feel the boat jolt as it rockets away. You're on the lower decks now, but you are on the ship. Callisto is there with you. Styx, at this point, where are you? Are you on the top deck? Are you going to be on the lower deck? What do you think you're doing in this sort of scenario? Of course, not really knowing what's going on. And I'm just going to assume Cog is with you unless Nathan wants to say something else. Nathan, again, I know you're not playing both characters, but if you would like to influence Cog's decision,
I can absolutely play both if you want.
it is
to.
it is entirely your call.
I don't know where Cog would be, but go ahead, Styx. Where are you?
I think I would be on the lower decks. I think Styx was confronted with a lot of technology and new stuff he doesn't comprehend after a full day of new stuff he didn't comprehend. So he figured, I'll lend a hand with something simple and maybe relieve a little stress.
Makes
so
sense.
He's just literally cleaning on the lower decks.
The god,
simple, building
the
a time
god
machine.
Vaktan is downstairs swapping the deck.
Basically. So to be clear for those, this is I guess also for Mike's benefit, the layout of Sky Skimmer right now is it's 3 leveled. There's the top deck and there's captain's quarters there. There's the middle deck, which is now sort of TARDIS larger. That's where most things are, like the cabins, a lot of cargo storage, etc. And then the lowest deck, which is where the engine is, where it's, the mechanical level. There's also some cargo down there. That is where Doc is working. I should have said middle deck. You guys are on the middle deck right now. Doc is below you, and Mercury piloting is above you. So you guys all rush onto the ship. You see Barry he like hunches over, breathes a sigh of relief as the thing closes. He goes, "You guys are really slow runners. You should get better at that." I was really close. Also, there's a goblin just kind of sweeping the decks off to the corner that you do not recognize.
I think Cog is, by the way, definitely on the top deck, just seeing the sights. You know, they've been flying around. Like, this shit's cool. So he's up there.
Listen, Doc, we did the best we could. Right now, Callisto's going through, I don't know, something. He's like end of the world. It's really getting to him. But it's fine because we are going to go back in time and save his husband. Also, who is that?
Oh, hello there. I didn't want to be rude and intrude. I know it's a bit of a high-pressure situation. I don't want to be in the way. But I do believe I may have some new abilities and whatnot.
Waves with his mouth hands.
It's possible. Yeah. Hello. Don't you worry. Only one of them bites, and it ain't this one.
Wait. Glib turns to Barry. After staring at Styx for a second, Glib turns to Barry and goes, "I'm sorry. I thought we were picking up the most powerful people in the world. Are you picking up hitchhikers to clean the fucking decks?"
I'm going to say Glib, actually, real quick before I answer that. Roll a history check to see if you remember.
I remember.
Okay, fair. Fair.
I didn't realize that was Baktan at first. I'm going somewhere with this. Hold on.
Okay. Barry kind of looks at him and goes, He's got the same whatever you guys have. He was close. He was nearby. Look, I'm not piloting this thing. I'm just making sure we don't die.
I look back at Styx. Hey! What can you do?
Well, I'm a paladin with many years' experience, a bit past my prime, and I got these very recently. I have not explored the depths of their power.
The second I see the hand mouths,
but they are good conversation.
The second I see the hand mouths, I grab his arm and I go,
I need you to pull up the docs.
Do not fucking tell me that you are Vaktan.
Well, now, I didn't choose it, but I do believe I am.
Styx, you son of a damn specs.
Does
son of a
Goodman know
bitch.
anything about this shit?
About Vaktan?
Throw your head.
Yeah. Aside from his run-in with fucking Specs, I don't think...
I was going to say, the way that I see it, I think Vaktan is probably something that is fairly limited to, like, goblin culture. I don't know if a lot of... the only reason I gave Glib sort of the check was because he was specifically, involved with Specs. I don't think either...
and Specs never shut up about
I don't think Goodbid would have any business... I don't think Goodbid would have any sort of business interest in the goblin territories, so I don't think so.
I don't think so
SG,
either.
again, I don't think you would have had any... There's not, like, a lot of valuable stuff to steal. I think only Glib would know. Barry doesn't know. Mercury doesn't know.
Glib throws Styx's hand away and he's like, "Motherfucking Specs! God damn it! I thought he was making that shit up!" And I storm away.
As you guys are having this conversation on the lower decks, you start to hear very, very, very loud noises from outside. You're going.
Oh, so
yes, but there are there are loud noises from where you were leaving. If any,
Matt, you should pull up the map.
That's a good point. Yes. Where is my map? There it is. This might be the wrong size. It's very much the wrong size. I had it zoomed in on Goblin
Goodman
Town.
will walk up to Styx and extend his hand for a handshake and be like, "Well, it's a pleasure to have more people on the team. Styx,
Pleasure to have a proper greeting, Mr.
Goodbid. Pleasure to meet you."
Mr. Goodbid, pleasure to meet you. You seem very hospitable, much more so than your
I can hear you!
Don't let him get you. He's like that with everybody. It's how he shows his love.
And do you know why my new appointment is such a sensitive topic for the young man?
I have no idea, if I'm gonna be real with you. I've never seen something like this. And he looks at your hands and goes, "It's really quite astounding. But Barry here says you're like us and got some Godforce in you, so that can't be a bad thing."
It can. There was a whole arc
Yeah.
about that, but you know, it's
Pretty
fine.
good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to lift some spirits.
Actually,
here.
Barry says that he's like, weren't there like a bunch of them that it was like a curse? I didn't see it. I didn't hurt. I look at him. He's got mouths on his hands. That can't be a good thing.
Don't listen to him. I'm sure you'll be a great member. of the team.
Barry, you weren't even here for that.
briefed. I don't know. There was someone with a mouth on their stomach, right?
Well, you know something. Half of Octom very friendly, half of it a bit more negative. So the way I see it, it's a matter of perspective. So if we think positively, we may not die.
I like that.
I like not dying.
That's the best
All
I
right.
got.
I
We
love
got two
not
more
dying.
stops before. We got one more stop to do before we go to our main goal. So we just got to go pick up our lovely friend Dramaticus. He sucks, but he's actually really good at his magic
I love
thing.
Dramaticus.
And then we got to go all the way to the past and steal this guy's husband and bring him to future to fix
It would
stuff.
be so mean of me if I said Dramaticus was already dead. How much do I want to tick off the audience today? I'll leave that as
Please
just a
don't
little
do
thing
that.
to
I would-
scare everyone for the next 10 minutes.
I really genuinely want to see Dramaticus again.
Don't
on
worry,
the camera.
I like him as well. He's one of my favorite NPCs I've made. He's not dead. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Anyway, are you guys? I'm assuming good to go tell Mercury what the deal is because he's the pilot. So, or you can check on Doc. Alternatively, you're on the ship. You can do what you want.
I think we could just go. We know Doc's not going to be done.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm not
So-
assuming Doc is done. Doc will come out gibbering when he's done. He will come out.
Doc will let everyone know that he's
Very,
done.
very
He's
true.
done.
Very, very true statement.
I'm so close to him. I can just telepathically connect and be like, Doc, how far are you along? How much you
Doc says something. You have absolutely no idea what it was. If it like.
Why would I have no
Probably
idea?
because
I
it
know this
wasn't
man.
words. It was kind of just babbling that maybe had some science in there.
Okay, Doc, I need you to give me a
7!
number. Hopefully 1 digit. 7 minutes,
You
7
said a
hours.
number.
And now I'm asking for a gun.
And a span of time.
Does it look? I'm very busy. I can't just go on spout.
Minutes, seconds, hours. 7
No,
minutes,
7
seconds,
is what I'm
hours.
trying
One
to
of those.
calibrate our quantum level state to. That's not. It didn't have anything to do with time. You just said.
Oh, forget
You
this.
just
I'm
said give me a
turning off the
number,
channel.
and so I said what I was working on. I was saying, look,
I
if I
can't
go
hear
ahead
him
and if
anymore.
you
I stopped
have you ever
listening.
tried to count while someone else is saying random numbers? It throws
Alright,
you off. You're going to
Antidote
delay
for
all my.
where Dramaticus is from. I kind of
Are the rest of
forgot.
us hearing one side of this argument?
I'm imagining that you're hearing SG and then very, very, very faintly from below you, the other side muffled by the floorboards.
That's great.
I take it he doesn't know how long it's gonna be.
Listen, with Doc, you get what you get, and you might get upset. Let's
7.
not talk about it right now.
7.
That's another fire truck, man. This storm wrecked this
Honk,
area.
honk.
You hear several like weird honking sounds from below decks, presumably as Doc continues working. I was
What
really
is
hoping
he
that thing would
doing
honk
now?
7 times. That would have been very good.
We have like a slide whistle.
He's got
What
to
is
perform a seance in front of it in some variety.
So man, the fire alarm is still going off. I wonder if it's just going to be like that now. Anyway, you guys, I'm assuming are all of you going up to the top to propose this new plan to Mercury, or? All right, so you guys head up to the
Yes.
top deck, where you see Mercury and Sky Skimmer very frantically piloting things. As you can tell, notably, there are a lot of blank around you. Not immediately around you, but like you are in the sky going, and as you look off to the distance, they are there, and Mercury is trying to do some very fancy piloting to avoid them. There's also another goblin up here.
Where'd you get this one? Are they just breathing?
Cog is aiming his shotgun at every single blank that gets too close, but never firing once.
They're not, I will say, they're not within shotgun range, so that is a good call at the moment.
I don't know if Cog knows that.
No. I'm
No,
saying
he does,
it
but he's
coincidentally
like-
is a good call.
Don't you worry,
Are
Mercury.
there-
I'll blast them out of the sky if they get too close.
Okay, are there any more hiding in the nooks and crannies of the ship? You do have to tell me right now.
Shotgun turns to SG. Ah! Who are you?
Put the gun down. You don't want me to
Immediate
see.
Eldritch Blast preparation. You can see it ready.
Cog gets shot off the side of the ship and dies 2 minutes after his reappearance.
You sure about that, little man?
Six hears this and scrambles up the stairs. No, me not do it. No, me not do it.
Oh, my bad. Hello.
Mercury, at this point, kind of shouts down from his position, still very focused on the pilot. He goes, "Sorry, I don't think that one's got any Cog was. He doesn't have any powers, but he was there, and I'm not gonna just leave anybody to die. So here he is. He's got a gun. I don't think that's gonna be particularly.
You know,
helpful.
in theory, we're leaving the entire planet to die, right?
Well,
you know that.
If I can leave the entire planet -1, that's better."
You did -1. This is -2. We didn't talk about -2.
Well, it would have been -3, but Cog has a bit of a complicated
You left
relationship with
his
mother.
mom?
Wait, Mercury shouts and he goes, he left
he
his
did.
mom.
She didn't want to come. What do you want me to do?
That is fair. She did say
Everyone
she
roll a
didn't want to
dexterity
come. That
save.
is fair.
I love interjecting that in the conversations randomly.
18.
I will be rolling for Cog and Goodbid.
That is a 15. I also wanted to say I want to take the gun out of Cog's hands and be like, you need something with a little bit more power, and give him Baldrick's
I want to give him
flamethrower.
Baldrick's like cannon shotgun. All right.
Yes.
I'll
Okay.
take it. As long as it looks shinier than his current
Oh, it's
one,
lit.
he's
It's,
down.
imagine
Yeah,
a
literally
Power
take it
Ranger
out of his
weapon
hand
shotgun.
and
That's
throw it.
literally what it is.
Cool. Otherwise,
I take
he would be
his
very
old
upset.
one out of his hands, I throw it over the side of the ship and just give him that instead.
Why would you? Whoa.
Upgrades,
All
people,
right.
upgrades.
Let's
This
see.
is
a
yes.
dex save?
I'll go and tell you what it is. It's easy, flat 10 DC. Anyone who got above a 10 DC, you are still up. Anyone who got below a 10 DC, you are thrown to the ground as Mercury very quickly and for no apparent reason that you can see, just kind of whips the ship around to the side very, very, very fast.
Both my characters are fine.
Okay,
got
you're
it.
so I think everyone's good then.
Good.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm good. Glib?
I'm fine. I got
Okay,
it. I
cool.
got an 18. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Now, interestingly, while you might sort of expect the thing that Mercury was trying to dodge to be a blank, it's not. As you see a massive dark shape kind of shoot up over the side of the ship. You can't really tell what it is, but that was what Mercury was trying to avoid. He kind of like banked the ship and did like a drift to avoid this gigantic shape. It seems like an insect of some kind, but again, like massive kaiju levels of insect. And it...
What in
I
the
don't
hell?
like this.
Mercury, what's
I
going on
have
up there?
absolutely no idea. You
Can I
can roll a
perception
perception check,
check on
yes.
that?
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Can I turn back to Mercury and say, did we kill Raelius?
I don't
Is
like
Raelius
this.
still a problem?
No, not a 5.
not
I
Um,
need.
I gotta.
I feel like player knows what this is.
I gotta
16 is more than enough, especially since Goodbid should probably be doing this with advantage. Goodbid, this thing looks weirdly similar to a certain insect that you had a bad experience with a bit ago, but a bigger one.
Oh hell!
Everyone can roll a nature check to kind of see what's going on. You might be able to intuit it as players, but
Mercury!
I don't think Goodman
That's
had
a
a bad
15.
experience with a bug.
We
in it.
gotta
a
get
15
outta
is
here.
enough. So you remember that the entire underground of East was being destabilized. So that might have driven some insects from lower levels up and out, and there might have been bigger ones underground.
Shit. Okay.
Howdy, yum.
This is a complication.
Yes.
Do we just see Lady Katarina riding on the back of one of those in the distance?
At this point, you guys kind of have a choice to make. You can stay, you can try to fight this thing, you can try to escape, see how that goes. Again, this is how this boss fight works, is everything is connected, and you guys... hiccup there.
Fuck
You guys
this.
will have
I'm
to do
going.
something.
I'm going straight to fucking. I'm saying let's go to Dramaticus. I don't want to fight a giant bug right now. I don't want to roll up into the final fight and figure out that maybe Dream, when he was a normal person, was actually like super fucking strong and not be prepared for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Goodbit is not having it.
Okay, so you guys go to Mercury and say, nah, screw this, head to Parian.
Yeah.
We can take him. Come on.
I imagine Cog kind of fires a couple shotgun blasts off. I guess I should technically make Mercury do a piloting check for this. Maybe the bug smacks the shit.
Tell the hillbilly to calm the fuck down?
Okay, Mercury makes the piloting check. You guys are good. And you guys, once again, shoot off into this sort of warp space. No, that hasn't come up yet. Never mind. I was going to say something, but I'll only say it when you guys mention it.
Okay, wait, I have one thing to say to everyone. We have no evidence that the blank can follow us through time, so maybe that is their one weakness.
We're gonna have to figure that out when we get.
You're going to have to
time.
figure that out when you get through time.
They're currently erasing reality, so maybe. I don't know.
But isn't that technically space more than
They
time?
could be at the beginning of time, eating their way up to now, for all we know.
Yeah, I mean, you do know these things have been a problem for the world before, because, Dream was trying to summon them back. It's just for whatever reason. I mean, you can try to communicate with them again if you want. It's just you're going to have to get their attention withoat
The last time
angering
I
them.
did that, I got
say-
fucking erased. I'm not trying that again.
Remind me, because I do remember I got a nat 20 on my communication check with them last time. What? I remember it was rudimentary. Was it it was just like vibes, right? It wasn't like
The
words?
last time that you tried to communicate with a blank was an illusion created by Dream.
Oh, that's right.
So
it was,
that is not reliable. As a recap for anyone,
which means our only canon reference was when fucking Johnny McSteals-a-lot went up to one and just got
Pronounced
out of existence.
Freeglin shit stealer.
as a
With
recap,
a Y, all right?
that is true.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
No,
peace.
Cog, I think that was his name. Johnny.
There was Johnny
You're
Cop,
mixing up
which was-
Johnny
yeah.
Cop, god damn it.
Man, this is going to be really confusing to anyone who didn't watch last week. Anyway, as a recap of the blank sort of lore that you guys learned from Dream, for as reliable as you think he is, I mean, he had no reason to lie at that point that you know of, but they were the things that killed the original gods because for whatever reason they were mad at the original gods. But they let the world live, and this time they are not letting the world live, and that's pretty much, I believe, all you know.
Interesting.
So you have a second again to communicate, strategize, anything, or we can say you go ahead and arrive at Parian.
Yeah.
No, we're going
just
straight.
head to Parian.
We're going straight to Parian. By the way, does Styx have any fucking clue what the hell is going on when we're like, oh, well, let's go get dramatic? Did you get briefed about anything, or is it just?
Well, hey, listen.
Here's the thing. This is actually Parian is like the one city-state on the continent that actually acknowledges the Goblin territories. Because the whole thing is they're
that's so nice.
for Mike who doesn't know, Parian is the place where like they hold a festival every year that I described as a combination of the Olympics and Carnival. And because they're like all about like, come, show off your strength, athleticism, cool stuff. They don't discriminate against anybody. So they're like, yeah, the goblins can come. Who knows? So you guys actually probably know who Dramaticus is. You don't know you don't know the recent developments, but you are aware of the very, very, very famous, extremely competent and very good fighter, Dramaticus, champion of these games for years to come. He is, he's like the best athlete in the world, essentially, and is very much a celebrity for that. So you guys would probably know him.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't have a lick of any of this time travel business, but I heard Dramaticus, and that does seem like a good idea. That fella got a good head on his shoulders.
We're going to get Dramaticus.
Right? We're living the high life already, Cole.
This
We're being
adventure-
celebrities.
Something else.
Don't get your
I'm gonna
hopes
turn to
up.
Barry and be like, did you not tell them fucking anything before you put them on the ship?
You turn.
I mean, to be fair, Glebe, I don't think we told Barry everything either when we did steal him from that cave. So it's kind of like what we do. We don't really brief people. This is not some kind of like disclosure.
Barry shrugs and is like,
agreement.
I'm like 1 degree of separation away from this, and then I had to brief them, so they're like, no. Short answer is no, not really.
I'm gonna turn to Mercury then and be like, Mercury, did you not tell them shit?
Mercury still actively
also
in
don't
the
think we
middle
told
of.
Mercury
Mercury
this
knows who. I
information.
think Mercury knows who Dramaticus is. And that stuff because he was.
Like the reality of Dramaticus, though.
Yeah, probably doesn't know the true form of Dramaticus.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody.
God damn
knows
it, we
that
didn't
except
tell anybody. Okay, that's on us. All right, my bad.
Well,
my
that,
bad.
I think we
This
promised to
isn't
not tell anybody. I think we promised.
Mercury doesn't count. Mercury's with us the entire time. It's fine.
Regardless, after a couple minutes of flight, you arrive at Parian and see not what you were hoping to see, maybe. It seems like the whole, or at least the city center, is kind of enveloped in this gigantic, sort of shining golden dome of light. There are blank sort of floating around it, but you can see, the outside of the city that has some deleted areas, and then this big dome in the center.
Because
Oh my
what
God.
was the god stuff in Parian? It was
Victory.
It was.
Victory, the
I will
god
go
of
ahead and
victory
tell you.
and
fire,
Yeah,
I think it
it
was.
was the dimension is fire, and then as subdomains, there's victory, light, and presumably fire. I believe pain was also a fire thing. I think. Well, it is a fire thing. I don't believe I
That's
told you
true.
that. So you actually know, presumably, all four, which is victory, light, fire, pain.
Big ass golden dome doesn't
so none of them are
mix with any of that.
none of them are protection. Then is what I'm
None of them are
getting at.
protection that
Or,
you.
like-
Probably the closest you've gotten to protection right now is Vaktan.
Right.
But the victory would kind of
I mean,
fall into its category.
because who knows? Maybe if the city falls under battle, they get special
automatic.
win.
Is he an immunity idol? He's an immunity idol.
I think as soon as I see the big golden dome with blanks floating around it, Glib's immediate reaction is, so he's dead, right?
He's not dead. He's probably just like putting this dome over the city so that this particular point where he is like protected. This is gaudy as hell.
He's a
Of
foot
course
tall
he's
and made
alive.
of wood. I think that maybe he made this, but I'm not going in there with a fuck ton of blanks around.
By the way, for the
I can't use a third level spell
on
when
the
I know we're
foot tall
about
and
to-
made of wood comment, Dramaticus, as far as the goblins know, is like a 6'8" strapping JoJo's Bizarre Adventure looking gladiator man. You have no idea what the foot tall and made of wood comment's about.
1 second. I thought I had a grasp on the situation, and then I heard some information that I did not know. You're telling me Dramaticus. 1 foot tall, made of wood?
I'm gonna walk over.
Well,
I'm gonna walk
you're
over.
on
to
He's
He's
actually
Sticks.
a very
I'm
good
gonna walk over to
magician.
Sticks and put my hands around his
No.
shoulders
Yeah.
and go, listen, I know that you're really behind the curve on this, and it really seems like you're slow on the uptake. But I need you to look behind you and realize the fact that the world is disappearing and that we don't have time to explain this shit to you. Okay?
Well,
Can I
reckon
just
a time
like
traveler would
crash
have
my
time.
head into his and transfer some information? Just headbutt him.
I mean, you've just
So that
done
works.
psychic projections without headbutting people before. If you would like to add a headbutt to that, I'm not going to stop you.
I've only done it with like.
By the way,
people
as
that
this
also
conversation
have
is
some
going on,
psychic
Mercury
ability.
pipes and goes, we're actively under assault right now. What are we doing? Should I go in? Should I try and get in the dome? Are we leaving? This is a great conversation. Can we have it maybe somewhere where there are not monsters?
try to get in the dome. Dramaticus is alive. I believe in it.
Probably, yeah. So Kimmy gets closer to the dome, and I can just psychically reach out to him and be like, "Put down the dome so we can come in."
So you get close. Mercury swings the ship around. You guys get close enough to the dome, and you kind of psychically try to reach out to Dramaticus within it somehow. Again, what's the
Yeah, you owe me a favor, you
what's
ass.
the
Open
range
the door.
of this psychic communication?
I think we had decided.
Okay,
it was
100
like
feet is probably not going to do it. This dome is very big.
Is it a solid
I
dome?
can't use sending. I only
You
have-
don't know. It is opaque, but it's like very shiny. Like I said, I described it as being made of light. It's very shiny, very sparkly, but like not see-through.
I'm gonna cast.
Oh, right.
God damn it! Can I look back at Goodbin and be like, hey, can you make me fly for a second? I'm gonna go and see if this thing hurts.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna jump off the
Fly
side
now.
of Time Skimmer to try and go down to the.
I want you to make a dexterity check dexterity save for possibly comedy's sake.
18.
18. Okay,
crash
it would have been really funny. I would have had it just be like you jump off and like thunk and bounce off, but no. 18 is good. You managed to kind of reach out and stick to the dome and slide a little bit. It is solid. It's very like I would describe it as it is solid, but you can't feel it, right? Like your hand
Okay.
sticks to something. There is no sensation on your hand, but it sticks to something.
Can I Misty step?
Yeah, Misty step through it. Misty stepping through it would work. Yes.
Oh, I Misty step through the dome.
Important question about that. Are you Misty stepping just to the other side of the dome, or are you Misty stepping to the ground?
I'm at
Okay,
other side.
I
through the
figured,
ground.
but I just wanted to make sure you didn't go like 2 feet and just start plummeting. Okay.
No, I mean like it's only a range of. Oh, what is it? Oh, actually, it doesn't seem to have a range. That's weird.
Misty
Yeah,
step
no
should
range.
have some.
Just on self. So, oh yeah, 30 feet to an
Oh, 30 feet? You are more than
So-
30 feet above the ground right now. It's big. It's covering the whole city center. We can say
Can you
that.
cast? Oh wait, hold
We
on. I
can
can be
say
like,
you.
Can you cast Featherfall? on
We
me?
can say that
Just
Sky
real quick?
Skimmer drops you off on the ground and then you Misty step through the dome.
There we go.
We don't have to. I just wanted to make sure you
Okay.
weren't doing something stupid. But since you're aware of it,
I mean, I was fully
since you
prepared
were
to
aware
fall.
of it,
I just
there
didn't
are
think I
ways
was
you can
gonna
get
fall
around it.
that far.
So, SG and SG exclusively at the moment gets through this dome, and you can see it is very, very, very crowded in there. There's a lot of people. It seems like much of the city has been clustered into this city center, and in a kind of pillar of light in the center, far enough away that you couldn't like shout to it, but pretty obvious since it's floating above, is the strapping now golden skinned form of Dramaticus, like arms outstretched, like Spider-Man in Homecoming, where he's like holding the boat together, and these beams of light are emanating from his hands that seem to be generating this dome.
Hell yeah.
Hey, asshole!
It just
you owe
said
me
he's
a
too far
favor.
away for you to just yell at. Okay,
I
so
mean, I go
you
over to
fight
him.
your way through this crowd. Not they're not violent, but it's a very thick crowd. And get to the end and shout up. He kind of like looks around for a moment. He seems very strained. Oh god, I haven't done the Dramaticus voice in so long. Okay, he looks down. He goes, ah! I'm glad to see you're still alive, my friend. It's been so long. Yes. As you can see, we're
Yes, it has been. I need you to put down the dome and come with us.
He just, like, in the middle of his long speech that he was intending to be much longer, he just pauses, goes, what?
Yes, we're going to go back in time to stop the invasion that is currently going on, and we do need your help.
I can't put down the dome. That's the only thing that's protecting the people of the city. Surely that's not what you want me to do here. A bunch of people around you in the crowd
like,
kind
it
of just like
kind of
look
is.
over you like, what? Huh?
I mean, like, it kind of is what I want you to do because I don't think you can keep it up and also be in the past with us.
Maybe
No!
we shouldn't have sent SG as our diplomat
I'm-
in this situation. Maybe SG wasn't the prime option.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of he pauses for another second. Says, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm certainly not going to fail the people of the city, and I don't know exactly what's going on. What exactly is going on? By the way, you seem to know what you're talking about as much as you usually do.
Yes, there's currently an invasion going on, and I and the rest of the group is trying to stop it. We have picked up a few other gods along the way. Yes, hello, crowd, I am God. And we do need your help.
But do you need my help specifically outside of The city? Is it not
Yes,
helping that I'm
obviously.
protecting this area from whatever strange things? I don't know exactly how long this is going to last, but is this not helpful? I think this is probably as helpful as I
I
can
mean,
possibly
like,
get.
not in the grand scheme of things, no.
I'm gonna say roll a persuasion check here on that.
I'm not.
I'm violently punching the dome at this point, by the way. Glib is desperately trying to find a way in.
A dirty
It's a dirty
20.
20.
Okay.
He saw SG go to Dramaticus, and his first thought is, fuck. Oh no. Oh god.
So-
Oh no.
God.
Yeah, I mean, he looks down at you and goes, well, that may be the case. What exactly is your plan again?
We are going to go back in time and steal our friends, our allies' husband, so that he can come to the future and stop the blank from ever happening. It's actually a long story. I kind of forgot
By the way,
whole
not the
plan, to be
plan.
honest.
That's not even close
Yeah.
to the plan.
I actually forgot the plan. But we do need to go back to the past to stop this from happening. So if we do go back to the past, we can stop any of these people from dying. And I mean, like, they're going to die in, like, what, an hour? You can't keep this up for very long.
Well,
SG. SG.
okay, that's.
Oh my god.
It's SG. It's
The morale
excellent to
in
see
the
you
city.
again. I'm a little busy at the moment. Can we perhaps talk about this later?
Actually, no, we don't. You know what? Forget it. You can just stay here and die. And I go back.
My God, I'm not gonna be the one to kill
I
him.
mean,
but
like, I don't have a lot of time, and
Uh,
I can't make him come.
Can
with
I
us at this
can
point.
SG? Can you Misty Step someone else with you? Is it just you? Is there any way to?
Only me.
Motherfucker! Is there any way in this
Only-
goddamn
and I
dome?
should put out. She did not say like, "Hey, let my friends in."
I didn't think he could turn like.
You
open
didn't
it.
ask.
Oh.
You didn't.
3 miles up,
walked,
there's just
you
this
walked
like
up and you're
3
like,
foot tall-
you know this thing you're doing to protect your whole city? Just stop and come with us, and they'll die,
Stop
but it'll be
doing that.
fine.
We need to go.
Do you think the whole city could fit in Sky Schemer with
It's
the
not
extra
that big.
floor?
It's not that big of a ship.
Okay, then can you only pick the most important people to be here that can survive?
Again, the crowd looks
Oh
at
my
you.
God.
Wow. Like everyone, like SG, the whole crowd around.
Please just
in a
open
sphere
the door.
Turned to look.
We don't know any of this. We don't hear any of
no,
this. So
we
don't.
just see-
I should have asked this
silently-
earlier. I don't have Vocton powers that can help.
You,
with
not
this,
that you.
can I?
Completely.
So,
Sorry.
A quick note to Mike here, and this was good. Other people have god powers, and you do as well, which I didn't tell you, but then I realized, I was like, well, that's fine, because your powers also come with some sort of inherent sentience, so I can just handle that as the other aspects of your power. So if you want to ask your hands things...
Oh right, I have these. Do y'all have anything to get through this here shieldy thingamabob?
I just kind of... You know what? I think I've done this before. Your hands kind of like turn against your will to like face the dome. I was thinking, I was like, do they see out of the mouth? Like, how does that work? I'm just gonna say that they do. And they kind of look at it for a second, and then your left hand turns to you. He goes, I can, but you're not gonna like it.
Well, my compatriots seem pretty stressed, so it's hopefully better than the current situation.
Glib Eldritch blasting the dome as he's waiting.
Is it gonna kill anyone?
Your hand can't physically shrug, but as close of a vibe as you can get to that is what happens. Funny enough, Styx, you guys really don't know this yet, but Styx, since Styx got the power transferred directly from Vocton, Styx is like the most powerful of you, but doesn't also have control over the power. So, yeah, also has no idea how it works.
idea. Great.
I guess I point my left hand toward the shield. All right, do your thing.
I guess I do technically have to make some rolls for this. We'll do that to... Oh, okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. Your left hand, which is the Keeper of Hate, you holds out. a sort of glowing maw extends very rapidly from your hand, you know, becoming massive in size several times your body, and just crunches into the dome, shattering like a big hole in it. I was gonna say, yeah, Glib, I would make a dex save real quick.
I just look back and see a giant glowing mouth going on.
Yep.
Okay.
Chomp. Wow.
Oh, thank fuck. That's a 22. All right.
You are able to leap and kind of combat roll, do some like cool flips out of the way. SG.
Silently from very far away, you just hear, what the fuck, man?
SG, you and Dramaticus and all the people see, as this conversation is going on, a big old glowing mouth just kind of bite a hole in the side of the damn dome. The crowd screams. Dramaticus kind of like, you see him wince and actually probably let out a scream as well. It was clearly a little bit painful for him to do that. Now there's a hole in the dome.
I fly down after seeing the G's comments. I fly down immediately.
Fly down.
You need to come with us right now.
Dramaticus kind of, he looks over at you and goes, oh, you know, much more strained now because his sort of extension shield is broken. Goes, oh, Glib, lovely to see you as well. Was that the alien creatures destroying the shield?
No, that's a
Yes, it was. Okay.
Yes.
Glib. Yes, that was totally the alien
deception
creature.
check.
Holy shit, gang.
Definitely. They're very, very strong, and you need to leave with us now.
Deception check that.
Yes, crowd. I just want to make it clear that was not me that ate a hole in the dome, obviously. But anyway, your hero has failed.
9. Okay, SG, you don't have to deception check because I think for all you would know, you would sort of believe, like you didn't see what happened. Dramaticus does not believe you, unfortunately. He kind of looks over to Glib and goes, are you certain?
God.
I mean, that didn't look like what they've been doing. I don't even think they have mouths.
Not even a little bit, but you really do need to come with us right now.
Yeah.
Look, I can't abandon the people of my city as much as...
You absolutely can, and you really need to.
He pauses again. You get the sense, like, this is a dude who his whole identity is based around being beloved by and protecting the people of this. Like, it's gonna take a lot to convince him to leave. This is
Batman to leave Gotham.
Yes, basically yes. Not even asking Batman to leave Gotham. You're asking Batman to leave Gotham as Gotham is actively watching him be the only line of defense. This is gonna be a very dramatic and difficult moment.
I'm gonna fly over to Dramaticus and be like, all right, look at me. Those things outside, they are erasing everything. Nothing will exist, regardless of if you save this city or not. This will be the only city in a vacuum of fucking nothing. And that is assuming they will ever stop. You can either come with us and potentially stop this, or you can save these people to exist in fucking nothing. What is your choice?
Persuasion check that, but I acknowledge that was a good speech, so you're still gonna have to persuasion check it.
Yeah, I'm just standing there like, yeah, what he said.
No, you don't get to advantage it off of what he said after actively
15.
causing problems earlier. Okay. 15 is I guess I need to check something here for perception. Oh my god. Well, the blank got another nat 20 on perception. See if to notice that the dome broke.
Wow.
They've had 2 and they don't even get advantage on that. My lights just flickered a little bit. Man, my electricity is not having a good day. Hopefully my internet will stay up.
Oh, I have something I can
go
say
for
to
it.
Dramaticus. Also, I should have probably opened with this, but the blank are kind of drawn to our Godforce energy, so you are a direct beacon. So drawing all of them here to your people, so you're actively putting them in danger simply by existing in their same space. So if that's not a good enough reason for you to come with us away from them, I don't know what is.
That's a much more, I guess persuasion check it again, because this is a big thing, but that's another good argument.
Come on.
That's a good argument.
Come on.
Man, I should have been there.
Nat
Okay.
20 for
Oh!
30. Does a 30
Dramaticus
do
kind of
that?
looks around at the position that he is in, which is a very literal beacon, as he is, floating in the center of the city in this big pillar of light. However, instead of looking like sad or worried, you actually see his face like freeze entirely, which is probably a very weird sight to the people, but like knowing what you know about Dramaticus probably means that he's contemplating much more seriously than you would think. After a moment of just his form completely freezing, he how you guys are on the ground, by the way, right? You hear him kind of, not in his grand luster, but sort of like, Glib, can you come up here for a moment?
I'm already right in front of
Oh,
you.
right. You went up there. Okay, in that case, he whispers to you with his, dramatic announcer voice totally gone. He goes, can you... I don't want to abandon the city, not for my own sake, but I don't want to have them lose hope. Can you take me out of me and sneak me away so that they don't see their last hope abandon them?
I'm gonna cast darkness all around me. Yeah, darkness focused on me. It's 15-foot circle.
Okay, so you cast darkness. You hear sort of gasps from the people as you do so, but presumably it works.
I grab him out of the chest while we're in darkness, and then I say, make your guy make this look like it disappears, and I'll drop it. Make him like burst it away, and we'll fly away with it as exploding.
The little puppet nods, and that happens after a moment of you see the form. Well, you don't see it, but you actually, you see like a little bit of light kind of burst through the magical darkness. Before the form of Dramaticus, the illusory form of Dramaticus, sort of throws his arms out once again in this massive burst of light. And it goes...
As the darkness is going outwards, I'm going to swoop down and also grab SG as we're going back up to the ship, because I am not coming back.
I am so much bigger than you. Why are you
That's a good point, actually. You're going to have to
make
make a strength check to lift... Unless flight... Like, I don't think that's a passive thing of flight, necessarily. So... It doesn't, extend.
12?
Wait, why?
Good bid cast flight on. I was wondering that too, and I was like, wait.
Oh.
12.
12, you said? For the sake of convenience, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I mean, I can also just transform into
you could turn into something, I forget, you can turn into something smaller if you want. You could turn into a copy of Glib.
I'll pick her up and move her, and
again.
then she can she can transform as
Regardless, you get out. And you see the illusory form of Dramaticus kind of begin a dramatic speech to the people again, but you can hear a sort of hint of sadness in his voice as you fly, I'm assuming, back out the hole in the dome?
Yep.
So the three of you fly out, three of you fly out the hole in the dome, landing on Skyskimmer again. There are blank, now actively, you see actually... Interestingly, rather than going towards the hole, they are going, they're getting very close to the dome, and you see sort of circular sections of it kind of starting to, not crack, but sort of almost melt, sort of, disintegrate in a way. Like they're trying to focus more on destroying it rather than just, pouring in through the hole itself. Roll a perception check, though, just sort of an insight check. I want to have you note something. Everybody can, even the people on the ship can do this.
That's a 3. That's gonna be a no.
You're busy carrying people. You don't see this. Yeah.
Perception?
I don't think Dramaticus would have the context necessary. Okay, good
26.
bid sees it and then can communicate to the rest. They're not going for the ship. They are not they're close, but they're not going for the ship.
I tell that to the people. I asked Mercury if that
Mercury sort of shrug. He pauses for a second. He goes, "I'm certainly not going to argue with it. I don't know. I did the wrong accent. I don't know why it's happening, but I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth." He does seem concerned
Callisto?
by it, but
You got anything?
Callisto kind of looks over the side of the ship and goes, "Maybe they're just trying to torture us, draw out the inevitable."
Right. Well, hey, we can take blessings where we get them. Let's get out of here.
The three others land back on the ship again. Notably, Dramaticus is in his true form, so you don't see Dramaticus, goblins. You just see a wooden puppet that Glib is holding.
Well, what? Did you forget him?
I'm gonna look down. Hold on.
Where's
I'm
Dramaticus?
gonna look down at Dramaticus for a moment. And I'm gonna look back up and said, he chose to stay behind. We got this guy.
Oh,
This is
that's
one
a
of his
shame.
helpers. He's with us.
At this point, Dramaticus kind of makes one of his little mage hand. Oh, I guess for context, for those who don't know, which again mostly Mike and any audience people who are here for whatever reason in the finale, I'm sure you're having a great time. What Dramaticus's true form is he appears like a gladiator, but that is an illusion. What he actually is a tiny, like those wooden art reference puppets. He's kind of like that, of that size. Who controls 4 mage hands, 2 that sort of act as his normal hands, 1 that he floats around on, and then a 4th one that just acts as collisions. And he hovers in the center of an illusion human and uses those hands to interact and make it look like he is a real person.
Oh. Well, good to meet you.
The puppet actually very quickly goes, good to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
Don't know
Yes,
what fellow would
this
be
is
too
our
busy.
friend Pinocchio.
The guy he looks up and goes, that's a stereotype, but okay.
I find that mildly offensive, but that's fine.
Well, good to meet you, Mr. Pinocchio. I don't know what kind of fellow would be too busy for an apocalypse, but it is Dramaticus. I'm
Oh,
sure
yes,
it's,
he's doing
very
his
busy
best
man.
to save the people of the city. He sort of
Sore
looks over
spot,
the edge.
goblin.
At this point,
not.
Mercury is already... Actually, Mercury's going off, but slower than usual. He seems to kind of be looking to see if the blank follow. What do you got? What's your next play? You've got Callisto on. You've got Dramaticus on. Things are still happening, and the order of which you do things matter.
Did we
Do
want
we need
anybody else?
I mean, we could get the
know
Rangers,
anybody
but
else?
also I feel like if they're not already dead, they're probably very close to it.
They are a
They're probably a liability.
They are a liability.
They did ditch us halfway through a major fight to go and get robots. So
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
okay, so they're no.
I damn near died because of that.
I really don't want to get is it Ezekiel? Ezekiel?
Ezekiel, yeah.
I don't want
don't
want to get Ezekiel
Yeah,
because
there's
fuck
one.
that guy.
I mean, we don't know anyone else we can go rescue or use to help change the world, but I mean, Doc, how far along are you?
Doc, you hear, I'm assuming you're communicating this psychically, or are you going down to the lower decks? Either one works, just how I flavor it. Psychically. You hear sort of the frantic nature of Doc. Goes, I'm not entirely sure. I'm making progress. It's definitely closer than it was. I would assume maybe 3 to 4 hours at most. Possibly less.
Oh my God, we don't have 3 to 4
Mercury kind of
hours,
pipes and goes,
Doc.
3 to 4
actually,
hours.
we might. They aren't following us. Does anyone else notice that?
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the emerald. I've been reminded by chat that we have not checked on an Emmy in a bit, and I'm not sure if Emmy's on the ship or not.
Correct. No one asked, which was wild.
I'm gonna grab the emerald because I told Emmy to get to somewhere safe and wait. So I'm assuming that Emmy's either been running or is gone at this point, and I'm hoping it's running.
Or on the ship.
Or on the ship, either one. Glib grabs the emerald and reaches out and goes, "Hey, Emmy, you doing all right? Where you at?"
You hear. Actually, you are you on the upper decks here? You see,
Yes.
kind of in the corner, sort of like in how all of you have a rough idea of what pirate ships look like. Like in the corner of the stairs, kind of lead up to where the ship's wheel is. You actually see Emmy kind of standing there, hunched over, not looking too good. He doesn't speak, but kind of gives you a very, very faint wave.
Okay. Hey, buddy. You okay?
Yeah, Emmy, please go
You
rest
alright?
a little bit.
Upon hearing the rest comment, Emmy shakes her head very, very, very frantically. Goes, "No, hiding the ship.
Emmy, that's why they're not coming for us. Are you actively hiding us right now?
As you look over towards Emmy, you see something kind of like more in more detail. You notice something kind of disturbing looking. There are tendrils of ichor kind of flowing out of Emmy's back, going onto and sort of integrating the ship. They seem to be sort of draining him in some capacity.
Emmy, what's going on?
Does not respond.
I'm gonna kneel down to Emmy and go, you don't need to do this anymore, buddy. We're faster than them now. It's okay.
Emmy sort of looks up at you and just goes, "Are you sure?"
I am.
After a solid, 10, 15 seconds of considering his options here, Emmy kind of looks out over at the blank that are kind of, moving around. There's still a lot of them flying around, deleting things as you can go. You're up in the sky, so you can't really see much of the ground, but there are a lot cracking the sky as you go. Emmy sort of winces, and you see the tendrils retract. And the second the tendrils retract, every blank that you can see on the horizon immediately stops.
Okay. As soon as Emmy stops, I immediately turn back to Mercury and say, Mercury, we need to gun it now.
Mercury has already done this. Mercury is going
Good.
as fast as possible at this point.
Okay. Can I reach out to where Emmy is? Is Emmy I know Emmy kind of revealed themselves to us. Am I able to reach out?
Yeah.
I know they're essentially a ghost, so.
Yeah, I would say you can try. What are you trying? Are you trying to give him a hug or something?
I'm trying to reach out to hold Emmy because almost fucking dead.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to reach out to hold Emmy so we can get Emmy somewhere to rest.
Are either of you goblins a doctor?
No.
I've done a little first aid, but no doctor.
Okay, then do your first aid on the child. Hello.
Oh, by the way, this is kind of important.
What?
Sticks, you have no idea who they're talking to. They are talking to
there's no one
nothing. There's no one there.
What?
Cog, you can't see the secret, of course.
On what exactly?
Okay, so you see Glebe pretending to hold baby in hands.
I do. I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to
Yes.
but,
baby?
He is holding a small invisible child. Please heal the small invisible child. I do not have any time to explain any more than that. Just do it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just. I'm over in the corner. I'm just gently telling Emmy, it's okay. Just rest. Just lay down. You're all right.
Emmy, this very much seems like he's sort of teetering on the edge of unconsciousness, more of I should say a tired way, not drain energy out, not like he's about to die. Mm-hmm. Not looking good, but this is not near-death experience yet, just very exhausted.
Fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
Good bit is avoiding watching this whole scenario go down. He doesn't even want to look at what's happening.
Where are you looking? Because outside the ship ain't a great view either. Doesn't really matter. It was just a flavor thing.
On the railing, just.
Sticks, I guess, is hello. I understand you have a child in your arms. That needs a little helping.
Do you have any idea?
Gang, we got anything? Invisible sick children?
I'm trying to think what this would. Actually, you look at your hands, but your left foot is the one that actually says kind of snapping upwards, which is the keeper of fear, which is something that Emmy has unintentionally been very associated with in the past. He goes, I don't remember if I used this for the fear voice or the hate voice. Oh, whatever. I'm just going to do the deep cracking voice, and it doesn't really matter. I know this one.
Oh, you're acquainted. Wonderful. What's your prognosis?
At this point, you kind of like as your foot looks at it, you kind of are able to get. You see like a very hazy outline of Emmy, so you can kind of see just this vague state, no details, but you can see kind of a humanoid shape.
Ooh. Oh dear. You do actually have a child in there. Okay. Well then, let's fix what's afflicting you. And
I want it stated.
quick recap on what
I'm
is
completely
afflicting.
ignoring Sticks at the moment. I'm acting like he's not there.
Yeah. Again, from what you can tell.
Didn't we get healing potions?
Yeah,
No, that
was
was in the dream.
you got healing potions the one time. They were not real.
Never mind.
As this is going on,
Fuck.
by the way, Mercury kind of shouts down to all of you, goes, I know that we're working on a lot of things at the moment. Where am I going? I don't know if there's any place on the continent that's safe right now.
Can you take her into space? Is that something
Just-
you can do?
Outwards? Or upwards? What are we
Yes.
talking about?
We have the most Godforce energy in all of the country right now, so it's best if we get as far away from them
Okay, that's
as possible.
He paused. He goes, I've never gone that way before. For those who don't remember, of course, this is a flat plane. You're basically, shooting off of Asgard just into the abyss beyond. Goes, see what I can do. And the ship just sort of starts going in a straight line. I mean, it's going to reach the same point at any direction it goes. So the ship is now going. You can go back to trying to help Emmy.
Yeah, I guess. Now, what's it? Aesthetics, is this a physical affliction? Is this more spiritual? Which is me asking, what should I roll? You
don't even have to. It's kind of obvious. He seems just exhausted.
Oh, good.
Like, you didn't see what was going on, but for those who did see, Emmy was essentially extending their presence out to cover the whole ship, and Emmy is very small and does not have that much, energy to do consistently to hide so much power in a single area. He doesn't seem, that in that a bad way.
Can I turn my head over to SG and go, do you still have that ichor? The thing from the temple?
Yeah, I still have like a couple vials. I didn't throw all
Can you
of
give
it
me
down
one?
there.
Just one?
Yes, I give.
Okay.
I give Quib one.
I turn back to Emmy and, hey buddy, is this gonna help? Could this possibly help you?
Without saying anything, Emmy just very quickly snatches it out of your hand, uncorks it, and holds his hand over it, and it sort of flows out of the vial into his hand.
Okay.
And you see it breathe a very faint sigh of relief. Still tired, but improved.
Without even turning my head, I hold my hand back out to SG and I need everything you got of that.
You have 8 remaining of those, for note.
All right, I give 2 more.
Okay.
Because we still need to be able to heal Emmy again, so I don't want to
Good
give
plan.
all of it.
I take them, I pop both the tops off of both of them, and I hand them back to Emmy.
The same process happens. It does seem to replenish some of his energy, not all of it, but he does look better. And seems a bit
All
more.
right, so I'm
maybe
guessing
a bit
that's
more
in
calm is
less.
probably not the term because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but is in less active trouble.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Can we dunk him in a bath back home and see if that will help?
I'm not 100% sure that I want to go back to Ezekiel right now. I think Ezekiel might either try and worm his way onto this ship or do something shady.
That's very true.
Also, you would have to tell Mercury.
well,
I
I
guess I
guess
should say. I will say Mercury right now is not going towards Aragnis because Mercury, I guess, is probably taking the shortest exit.
Okay.
You can tell him to change course if you would like, but
I mean, the only other person we can reach out to is sort of that butterfly friend we had that a couple days ago, but they seem to be in a very bad place, so I don't know if it's
I'm going to
the
be
time.
perfectly honest. Can they get in worse of a place than non-existence?
I don't know. They did not seem to be in the best headspace. But I can try to reach out.
None of us are in a good headspace.
I mean, then they're the only one that can actually speak to the blank.
If you're trying to communicate with Bella, how are you doing that? Are you using sending, or you
I would
can
have to
do
use
that if
sending.
you would like?
Having somebody to communicate with a blank would be useful.
All right. I'm going to sending Bello. It's a oh god. Hi, Chaos Butterfly Bello. We are the other people you met. Need your
Do the
help.
Bella voice.
Can you come?
I have not
ASAP.
tried to do the Bello voice. I guess if you're trying to reach out, maybe I should learn. I don't even know how I would begin doing that. At the moment, fortunately, I don't actually think it matters because you don't get a response.
Well, I don't know. Wait, do I know if it's been received?
It has been received. You don't get a response. You don't get a sense of like the direction of where this person is. It's just yes or no. Has it been received? It
Yeah,
has
I
been
basically know
received.
if
You do
it's
not
been
get a
received.
response.
Well, I told you they were not in a very good space. It seems like I have been sent to voicemail or head mail.
Okay. I turn around to the all of the party members that aren't me, SG, and Goodbid, and go, y'all have any last people that we need to pick up? We don't have a lot of space, so be selective.
Hey, Callisto, can you speak Celestial by any
Good
chance?
try.
I mean, like, it was a yes or no
And I
question.
need him to take some fucking uppers or something, because he is dragging everybody down.
He's in a bad place right now. But again, he kind of just shrugs. You get the sense he doesn't himself. He knows what you're asking, and you get the sense he doesn't himself know if he could communicate with this thing.
All right, so since you seem to be really depressing right now, I'm going to explain to you what I understand plan to be. If we have time machine and your husband disappeared without a trace, if there's chance the blank did not steal him, we stole him and took him into the past.
Callisto thinks about this now that you've calmed down and explained it a little bit better. Kind of goes,
I explained it exactly.
no, you did
You
not. I
said
do not.
that was 100% what we did.
Yeah, that
you
was-
said,
it-
no, it's fine. We stole your husband, so we went to the past. That's all you said.
Yeah,
That was...
you didn't explain this as something that needed to be done. You were just like, we stole your husband, time travel, get on the boat. At hearing this, Callisto kind of like, he sort of like, not perks up, but sits up a little bit more and goes, I've heard worse plans from you.
Exactly. And that's not even the
think that was a
main
compliment.
gist of the plan. That's just part of it.
Mercury, by the way, at this point, Scripps goes, hey, just, if anyone has anything that they need to do on the continent, we're in a bit of a time crunch here, and I need to know now, because we're approaching the, God, this is weird, the edge.
Exactly. Anybody got anything? We got the people we need.
Well, I reckon if it gets to racing, we save it anyway. I don't got anything pressing. Etcha what exactly? Mr. Captain fella?
Is the next 3 hours going to be us explaining to the new god the situations of this world?
The next few hours are going to be quite something.
Is it possible that we are missing something in this time travel equation? Because whenever you talk about time, you usually follow it up with and space. So is it possible that the reason why it's taking Doc so long is that he needs time and space in able to do time travel? So we need to get to space, so then time travel is possible.
Sure.
What?
What a
On that note,
logic.
if you guys don't have do you have anything else to do on the continent right now? Okay, then I say we take our bathroom break here because we're about to sort of hit the part 2 of this. We will be back in just a couple minutes, everybody, and we'll get to the really the first official space section of this campaign, which will be very enjoyable. So we'll see you all in just a minute. Oh,
Wait, did I miss something? What the
No,
hell?
you
missed
didn't miss
nothing. Don't
anything.
worry
Oh,
about
hold
it.
on. The cameras have shifted again, but I'll get that as we're going. All right, we're back, everybody. So, let's, before we move on to sort of chapter 2 of this, as I fix the cameras, recap where we are at, specifically with the... Why are there 2 of Nathan? Because if I move Nathan,
And I'm
there's a
huge.
different Nathan underneath the first Nathan. Whatever. Yeah, anyway, let's recap the crew as we're going. So obviously we have SG Glib Goodbid as sort of the I guess Dramaticus is also kind of a resident god. Styx as a kind of god / deckhand, filling 2 very contradictory roles there, but both of them. Cog is also there as sort of the secondary deckhand, as well as Mercury as your pilot, Callisto as I guess your wizard, Doc as your science officer, and Barry as your engineering officer. So that is your crew at the moment. Now,
I just realized that Cog is our gunner.
Yeah, that's actually excellent. Cog can be the gunner.
There we go.
So I believe one of the last lines before we went into the break was Styx asking the edge of what? And that is a great sort of segue into what you guys see now, is because as you guys look, after Styx says that, Mercury kind of just points out towards the back. And as you guys look, you see that you guys are heading over something very, very strange. You can see the continent out in the distance, and then ocean. But instead of the ocean just kind of crashing into nothingness like the Asgard imagery that many of you are probably picturing, the water at the end just sort of fades into nothingness. Like it sort of just it becomes more transparent until it just is not there anymore, like a gradient into this blank space. And outside of that is just blackness. There are no stars above or below or behind. It is just this flat disc of world that you guys are now actively leaving behind, seemingly heading out towards nowhere. And there are blank following you as you look as well.
All right. Well, I guess we have space to move now.
And nowhere to hide.
Cool.
Yeah, that's where you're going at this point. You are going out into nothingness. What are you guys doing?
All right,
Unfazed. I've been through too
Oh,
much.
I didn't say fade, but I don't have anything to say. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna say we should just keep going. Just keep running.
I mean-
We're actively running until we have our time machine. So
Keeping watch. I would say everyone probably takes a different side of the boat. Just watches to see if anybody tries to fuck with us.
Where are you guys going on the boat?
Just realized, do we have to think
that.
about gravity? We don't know gravity exists, do we?
do we need to think about gravity or air?
Everything seems
don't,
fine
but-
as you are aware right now.
Okay.
I mean, if we all suffocate, that's the end of the campaign. They all accidentally died in space. Okay, thanks
Actually-
everyone for coming.
You know what? Hold on. Before we take up spaces, I'm gonna go down into the area where Doc is working and go, listen, you're probably not gonna give me a straight answer for this, but do we need to be in the location that we hope to time travel to?
Doc actually kind of, I'm not 100% certain. I think this is a new ship that I've never used before with the time travel integration. But Sky Skimmer is perfectly capable of moving through space as well, so I don't think that would be needed.
Okay, but let's say we needed to stop something in a very specific place. When we time travel, do we need to be in that place?
I do not think so.
Before we do. Okay, so we can determine where we want to go as well as when we want to go from this machine.
He pauses for a second, but then gives sort of a tentative nod.
Also, is it safe for us
Okay.
to go into space?
You're in space now, so it seems like it.
Cool.
Cool. I go to the back of the boat, watching where. Does the world have a name? Vontrel. Watching Vontrel behind
Slowly
us.
disappear.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna go right behind Mercury. I'm also looking behind us, but I am specifically protecting the pilot.
Cool.
Cog is at the bow, at the front, watching nothingness.
Cool.
I think SG is going to be helping Doc at best way they can.
Cool.
Styx is going to go to wherever Callisto
Okay.
is.
Callisto kind of looks over at you and goes, "And you are?"
Styx Bradley, paladin for hire and recently appointed Vaktan, as it were. And in my day, a little bit of a, you may call it a life coach therapy who's it what's it situation. And I noticed you were a little down, and I don't know how much I can do help around here, but I know worries
Just
of
to
the soul.
confirm, before this conversation takes place, you were just unemployed before, right? You were like just a guy for hire to do stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure you're not an actual,
No.
like, life coach, therapist, anything.
Well, listen, I had a paladin service, and part of that service was just being a good
No.
pal, hearing people out. So he kind of, you know.
Despite the offer probably being mostly genuine, Callisto does not know you and associates you with the group of idiots that he got wrapped up with. And so when you offer this, he just puts his head in his hands and goes, "Oh god, not another one."
I don't know what you mean by that. Hopefully
Not
nothing
hurtful to you
but,
necessarily.
oh, well, I'll take that. But we're in the middle of quite literally nothing. I reckon you got nothing to lose today. Tell me what's on your mind.
Roll a persuasion check if you mean this genuinely.
I
I
do.
figured, but yeah.
Styx is nothing but not a good guy.
Persuasion. I shouldn't have done that. D&D Beyond is lagging for me like crazy.
Just pick a random number between 1 and 20.
plus
It'll be fine.
6.
17. Okay, that's
17.
actually pretty good.
17.
Um,
6.
Callisto looks surprised that someone actually, like, you know, surprised to have a genuinely nice person on the party. Most people are not nice to him, though to be fair, he's also not nice to most people. As he kind of opens his mouth to speak, though, everyone roll a dexterity save!
No!
Fucker. Come on, we're about to have a goddamn moment here.
Yeah! Oh, you're gonna have a moment, it's just not the moment you think it's gonna be.
Son of a.
I was gonna do something useful on purpose for once.
That's my third nat 20 of this session.
Holy shit.
Alright.
I got a dirty 20.
A dexterity save.
I have
Okay.
some unfortunate news.
Good bid got a 23.
That's a 6.
Okay. You're all
Cog
You're all
got
lucky
a
because that
7.
was for dramatic purposes again. Once again, this is mostly just if you rolled below a 10, you fall over as the ship
Oh, thank God.
shudders very, very strongly. However, the thing that happens as, you know, to cause this shuddering is what's very odd. You guys are, of course, traveling through this just empty blackness. It's actually kind of hard to tell if you're moving or not because the only frame of reference you have is this, you know, slowly shrinking continent behind you. Otherwise, it's just blackness with nothing else there. Until suddenly, it seems like you pass some sort of threshold, and everything goes immediately from black to just bright, empty, blank white. Instantaneously. And looking back behind,
Oh.
as the ship keeps going, because Mercury's not turning around, you can see Vontrell still very, very far off in the distance in an ever-shrinking, what seems to be like a sphere of blackness, as if space is an orb in this strange other space.
Mercury, are we in the order dimension again?
Mercury does not speak and just sort of shrugs.
What the hell is going on?
Oh.
I don't see any of this. I'm below deck.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, if you're below decks, you're not seeing this. You felt the shudder though, so that could, you know, if you want to go up, you have reason
any
to go up
windows?
above deck if you would like. Yeah, there, I mean, there could be
there any
portholes.
windows
There could
below
be
deck?
portholes of some kind. Yeah, yeah. Let's say there are.
All of a sudden, it goes from dark nothingness lit by lamps to all of a sudden just flooding in white light
blinding-
from everywhere.
Blinding white.
Doc, can you look at this? Actually, no, don't look at this. Fix the time machine. I will relate to you that there is just whiteness outside.
Doc. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Doc does not seem. Doc is focusing on the machine. Doesn't really know what that means, and gets Doc is busy. But outside on the upper decks, are you guys changing course, or are you still sort of are you stopping? Are you forging ahead? What are you doing?
I'd say keep going. We're just gonna keep moving until that time machine is fixed.
As you keep going, once again, it's kind of hard to tell if you're moving or not. You can tell because the sphere of space behind you is gradually shrinking. But once again, that is the only frame of reference. I mean, the color of the space around you has shifted, but it's still just blank, neutral nothing now that you've left this orb behind. Until, with an incredibly loud, sort of warping, tearing sound, two gigantic spheres of darkness that almost seem like eyes appear in front of the ship. Like very, very, very big, like planet-sized at least, far off in the distance.
Mercury, we might want to slow down. Are we still getting chased? Are there still blanks behind us?
You don't see them, but it's also notable that without the frame of reference of something that you can see through them, it's kind of difficult to tell. Because remember, they are just black and white outlines, white outlines with black and white between them. If they are in this space, it's actually, you know what? I'll give you a perception check for this.
Okay.
And we'll say this happened a minute ago.
Two planet-sized black orbs, so... Well, doesn't fucking matter. I got a 4.
People can perception check as you go if you would like.
Yeah, I feel like I'm above Dex at this point
Yeah.
when I saw the change.
This is for the blanks, not the eyes, by the way. 25. Yeah, Goodbit has been very, very, very alert this whole game. You can see as you look back at space, there are like blanks kind of around you as you were going out. You see like almost like a bit, now that you can see this white space, you couldn't see out of it, but you can see into it. Sort of like a piece of the white space almost like kind of extend and pinch off and form into a blank that then starts heading inside the bubble. And this happens every now and then. Like pieces of this very area, dimension that you are in are manifesting as these creatures, and that is what they are.
Oh, God. So we're just surrounded by pre-blanks?
In some sense or another. And these eyes are watching you but have not spoken yet.
Can I, like... look down at wherever Callisto is on the deck, and I'm like, do you know if we're gonna hit that? The giant black orb in front of us.
Callisto does not speak, but from the expression on his face is just as confused as you are, has no idea what this thing is.
Why the hell did we stop to get you? And I turn back to Mercury and just say, we left a black orb before we passed straight through it. I say, fuck it, gun it. We still need to move.
Mercury, you actually see Mercury kind of turns the ship slightly, and as he turns the ship, the eye-like things move with you. It seems, again, it makes it very difficult to tell what your position is, but as you see your position relative to the orb change, the eyes shift with you. So if you're looking at the eyes, it looks like you're not turning at all. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They shift, still just watching.
Can I try to psychically reach out to these things?
You sort of put out some sort of psychic signal. You don't get or feel anything. However, after a moment, a wave of vibration courses through the entire ship and just all of you. And in this vibration, you hear some sort of sound that is, you can register as speech. And it says in a very deep voice, again, I have one deep voice, but I'm going to make the tone different. Your arrogance is astounding.
Well,
we get that more than you would think.
Mm-hmm. Are you also gods?
I am above you.
Okay, this was also a yes or no question. I don't know why people are allergic to those. I say that, I trail off.
You exist at my mercy, and reject me.
I'd rather not die.
I do not know what you're
We
talking
are very
about.
thankful for your mercy, Mr. What do we call you?
It does not respond to any sort of request for a name or anything like that. And as best you can tell from the shifting of the eyes, which are, of course, at a scale that's kind of difficult to comprehend, it seems to focus on Goodbid, as the one who just thanked it. It says, "Get on your knees and beg for your lives."
Ooh, would love to, sir, but this is a new suit.
Is this Goodbid's doing something stupid moment?
This is a new suit. But again, very grateful.
The rumbles continue, more like louder waves of them that seem to almost register as a laugh in some sense.
Okay. Is there something we can do for you? We're kind of trying to save all of time and space right now, so...
The eyes sort of shift over to Glib and speak once more in this sort of rumbling. Praise me as your creator.
Before I do that, are you responsible for those things? Pointing back at what kind of shimmery looks like the blanks behind us.
I am responsible for all, directly or indirectly.
Okay, well, you see, you had me there for a moment, and then you told me that you activated the things that's gonna kill everything that we care about, so... sorry, bud, but... no can do. I'm gonna mentally reach out to SG and be like, can you connect me to Doc for a second?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, as I am... hey, Doc? What's our ETA?
Doc kind of is sort of a little bit garbled by the vibrations that are now constantly racking the entire ship. You gotta get not ready, but we might have a backup plan. I'm not really sure what we do in this case.
Are we not ready as in we can hit the button and we're not sure what it will do? Or are we not ready in the case of we're gonna die if we hit the button to go?
I will give you a 75% chance of the first one.
Great. On my signal, hit the fucking button. I'm gonna turn back to the eyes and say, I am going to give you one chance to let us do this before we do it anyway.
Let us do this as in time travel?
I'm not telling the eyes. The eyes can figure it out.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say it would know. So what? Tell me as the DM. So
I'm
that
talking
I can
about
be this
our
omnipotent being.
plan. I'm talking about the plan,
Talking
to,
about
to,
the
to
plan.
save everything. Yeah.
The plan as it the plan as it stands. Again, you get kind of a laugh from this thing before it speaks in its vibrating tone. It goes, my grandchildren, so self-assured.
So is that a no or?
So
I
confusing.
have no idea what this. I mean, if you guys want to try to sort of talk to this thing and guess what it is, I mean, it seems willing to talk, but every
I'm
second
assuming
you've got, it's gonna get closer to deleting.
I'm assuming this is creation itself, so I am just assuming that if we maybe can outrun it, I'm not sure. There's not
Now,
plan
this
that
may
Glitz
be
has here
out
other
of
than get the fuck
character.
away from it.
Yeah.
Out of character, this may be a bit of a stretch. But on the graph that we saw back in Gadayama, Now, again, this may be a huge.
I have that
correct
graph
me if I'm
actually. Hold
wrong.
on, I can pull that up.
Time and space. Time and space were just.
I will pull that up.
circles?
Also, someone in chat said, "Is this the DM incarnate?" No, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this is not a meta thing. This is in universe. Oh, it's weird and tiny.
And we
so yes,
never met
this is
anybody.
the sort of older map of the cosmos in a way that you saw.
Yes.
Are,
And time and space were on
Yes.
the outside. We
I think you know that
presume-
now. The original 8-dimension, Vontral's in the center. I don't know why I'm gesturing with my mouse. You guys cannot see that. But Vontral's in the center, not really marked on this map. The 8 dimensions that were the ones that you were aware of first are in this circle of 8 here, and presumably time and space are represented by these 2 circles on the outside.
And everything we know about this is our world matches up with this, and we just went on the outside of the rim of our world, and the only thing on the outside of the rim of this graph is time and space. And so I'm guessing this guy is, I don't know if he could be the god of both, or is the god of...
Someone just
That might be time.
Someone just got something good in chat. King in Black, you picked up on a phrasing thing that I got. Good job. Are you saying this or suggesting anything to this?
I said this
Yeah.
as me, but I will say this as character as well.
As you say this sort of thing to, are you asking if this thing is time or space or just time or say it in character.
I'll be like, yeah. I'll gesture to the ginormous black orbs and be like, so are you the god of time or space or both even? I mean, because we're gods too, We could get along.
At
What are
this
you-
point, the eyes vanish, which kind of, brings another sort of burst of light. But a moment later, the sort of glyph that you've seen before appears in the, quote-unquote sky, space, void, whatever you want to call it, where the eyes were, with the 8 circles and then the 2 circles on the sides. And very slowly, it starts to shrink. And I don't have an image of this, but I don't really need it. It's the glyph that you have seen starts to shrink, revealing that the entire thing of 10 circles is encompassed within a much larger 11th. And as this sort of finishes, the voice speaks out again and says,
I am nothing, and your existence is an abomination.
I hate to intrude.
Fear immediately. There's such a prominent. The glib looks back at Styx with the most terrified expression on his face he has ever seen.
Oh my
But I
god.
feel compelled to do it on behalf of my predecessor. And Styx gets down on one knee, puts his right hand on his right knee, praying position for Vaktan.
Nathan with the little lore fist
Now
bump.
my predecessor was done in by one of your children creations, what have you, these children coming down to our plane. After trying to talk and reason with it. Now I don't know what you are, but you seem pretty important to the existence of us. So I don't want to know what we did that a benevolent being reaching out for understanding would get no quarter and no anything. I suppose, foolishly as a mortal, I'm asking nothing. Why?
The eyes return as the glyph vanishes. Strangely, the vibrations, for as hard as it is to tell tone, seem oddly positive in a way. But it says,
You speak with more intelligence than your brethren.
Really?
Unfortunately,
Wow.
you all must be held accountable for the sins of your fathers.
I think I know who this guy is. He's Sugma.
Oh, loser.
Glib looks right
effed,
over at SG like, are you, we're dead. We're dead. We're gonna die.
I am actually real. Yeah, I think that is a death. I think that is a death, actually. I mean, that's the stupidest player death I've ever had, but this thing would kill you for that.
Come on!
I think this thing would.
Oh, wow.
This is the strongest being you've ever faced. It explicitly said to fall to your knees and worship, and you insulted it. Yeah, SG vanishes. Without a without a vibration, anything.
It was worth it.
Gone.
It was worth it.
Oh, no.
Oh, Goodman falls to a knee. I go, oh Lord, nothing, all being and all creator, I pledge myself under your righteousness.
Oh wait, really? Okay, interesting. All right.
Glib does not move. Because he just saw what is essentially the closest friend he's had in ever, the only one left after Canyon betrayed us, disappear.
Yep.
Gone.
Yep.
Glib's stunned. He doesn't know what to do and is just kind of in static mode at the moment.
Understandable. Good bid. After a moment after this, you feel yourself. I mean, you actually can't really feel it, but you are essentially picked up off of the ship and sort of floated in front of it. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, so this thing is floated off. This thing floats you off the ship, and after a moment, the vibrations continue again. It says,
Mr. Cornelius, you too speak with intelligence.
I just want to make sure that my friends end up all right. And if going to my knees and begging for your mercy is what it takes in that.
for
is
note,
what I'll
Chad, I
do.
want to say people are saying Cornelius. It's Cornelius with an A, and that's the last name. It's hard to tell the vowels in the voice.
Oh.
But
last name.
it is Miss. You can type it in. Someone can type it in chat if
Cornelius.
anyone's curious. Mr. Blank Cornelius. But you just said, like, I just want to ensure that my friends sort of.
Yeah.
An interesting proposal. Yet they are not like you.
Surely we could conduct some business here. A trade, if you will.
Continue.
I pledge myself. You let the Time Skimmer and all of its crew carry out their acts. And maybe don't destroy the world. That'd be bad business, you know what I mean?
This thing pauses again for probably the longest pause that you've heard from it. No vibrations course through the ship. Before again it laughs. It says,
I admire you for your sacrifice.
Thank you.
The notion that you, puny mortal, are worth the world is amusing.
Well, my mother wouldn't lie to me now, would she? She says the same thing.
is anyone else doing anything at this point, or are you just sort of watching this?
I was about to have something. As soon as that you think the notion that you would be worth the world, Glib turns back to the eyes and says, "I don't know what you are, but I hope this hurts, fucker." Uses Grasp of the Kraken and grabs Goodbid with the invisible tentacles, and then immediately turns back to where Doc is in the ship and just yells "No!" and pulls Goodbid back to the ship as hard as he can.
All right, Goodbid, you get. Actually, wouldn't necessarily. I mean, this thing's not holding too tight onto Goodbid. It doesn't. How do I nicely say it doesn't value you that much?
Picking it up like a dirty napkin.
Yeah. So, as Goodbid is pulled into the ship, you actually make a dexterity check to see if you can do this fast enough before what's gonna happen happens.
Holy shit.
Me or Goodbid?
You, Panda. I'm getting so many texts. Why is this?
That is a 15.
A 50. Okay, that's enough. So you yank the floating form of Goodbid back to the deck of Sky Skimmer, right as this sort of pearlescent sheen kind of goes over it and forms sort of a cap on the ship, like a seal of some kind. The entire ship starts shaking once again, though it doesn't feel like the same sort of shaking that this monstrosity eldritch god being causes. And a moment later, the entire outside of this dome just burst into this blinding, shifting, almost seizure-inducing rainbow of colors.
I'm sweating so much.
Oh, this is great. We're actually going to move a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of what I planned for Season 3 in this session. I think it's going to be good. We're going to dip a little bit into the beginning of Season 3, Session 1.
Did I just break your
Oh, no.
campaign
Not because of you.
joke?
Not because of you. I think this is going to flow better. So we're going to do it like this. Going to get a little more of a preview.
Glib, I'm assuming Glib, fell over as he pulled Goodbid as hard as he possibly could back to the ship.
You should technically have to do a dexterity save again to fall, but since that's just for flavor, I'm not going to do it. But yes, there's a big violent shaking. Okay. The ship seems, I'll say too, when I say the ship is shaking, it's it's not just vibrating, it's like pieces of the ship itself are kind of losing their rigid structure as they're being warped and shaken throughout space-time.
Yeah. As we're porting, Glib very quickly crawls over to Goodbid and grabs the side of his head and says, "You okay? You good?"
Goodbid
Still
adjusts his vest. He goes, hell. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Glib.
Mercury sees it, goes, "I hate to interrupt this very tender moment, we can have this later, but you see as you look up, many more screens and interfaces have suddenly appeared around Mercury's thing. He doesn't really seem to know what they do. You get the sense this is probably the time controls. Where are we going? Where are we going? What are we doing? I don't know. We should get out of here quick. I don't know if we're in some sort of bubble or if we're gone. I have no idea what's going on. We need to leave."
Out of character, what year did Dream say that he was from?
Did he?
I didn't write it down. Yeah, he did. Well, not Dream specifically, but he said that he was a poet and said what year he was from.
Shoot.
The way I've been telling you guys, you have to go get Postoprophis, and I died, and you still didn't do what I told you to do.
Nope. We're on a time machine now. This is option number one.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember what the year is either. But you will say that you guys remember it and enter the thing.
Okay.
Mercury.
I'm gonna say the country and the time that Ezekiel had told us that Dream was from.
All right. So
we need to go there, and we need to do it now.
Mercury, after sort of a moment of gathering what options he has available to him, he hits some buttons and interfaces, and you see the colors around the ship change and become sort of more directional, like they're flowing in a certain way and not just going chaotically. Mercury then just kind of looks at you and sort of gives a vague gesture of, "I guess that's the best we've got." Presumably you have a little bit of, maybe a couple minutes if you want to discuss anything, do anything here before you get wherever you're going.
Glib lets go of Goodbid's face and kind of just drops to his knees, breathing for a second. He's still comprehending everything at the moment.
Goodbid is... This is actually very complex here. But Goodbid is angry. Goodbid is... His hair is messed up. He's... You know, he's not smiling. He gets up and he like fixes his suit. He's like, God damn it all to hell! Ugh. Nothing was supposed to happen to y'all. This all got way out of hand. We're in a time machine. We can fix all this, right? Everything can be brought back to normal.
Glib slowly stands up and brushes off his knees and just takes one breath. You can tell he's gotten used to repressing shit at this point. And just kind of goes... One thing at a time. I miss SG too. But we need to save the world first.
Alright.
Once this is done, we'll go back to right before we left, and we'll get her.
You can tell Goodbid has a lot he wants to say. He just goes, fine. And he goes up to top deck with Mercury. And just...
Glib is shaking because he's definitely repressing a lot of emotions right now. And kind of goes over to the absolute tip of the front of the ship and just kind of rests against the railing, breathing for a second until we pop back up and I see Dream, and I'm going to rain hell upon this random fucking guy.
After a couple unless anyone else has any conversations they want to have in this time, and Momo, don't worry about being frozen right now. There might be something for you to do in a bit, but
I think for flavor, I think Styx is just gonna real quick check in on Cog as the other mortal or like out of their element goblin on the ship, because a lot of shit went on.
I'm also gonna say, just sort of because why not? Dramaticus is also there with Cog, just because I haven't said where he is necessarily. So Dramaticus is there as well.
Okay, little goblin meeting check-in. We okay?
Oh,
a lot just happened.
I'm peachy. I'm not quite sure. I'm not fully grasping the situation, I don't think, but there's some crazy stuff. We're really adventurers right now. This is, you know, if we pull this off, you realize how many women we're gonna get. And he like punches you in the shoulder.
Where is this happening?
Your God saying
yeah, where is this happening, by the way?
Are you on the top deck? Are you within Glib's earshot?
That would be up to Cog, I guess. Cog and
was at the front of the ship, so wherever.
Front of the ship would be on the top deck, but on the other side. So.
I'm at the front of the ship. I went to the tip of the front of the ship. I am.
That's where we all are.
Oh, then yeah.
I am at the point where the ship.
Then yes, you are actively like 2 feet away from this conversation.
Oh God, fuck.
Nathan, I'm sorry for what happens next.
Oh God.
Glib looks over at Cog, laughing and joking about how much he's gonna get off of this shit. And within a fraction of a second, the fastest Glib has ever moved, Cog is being dangled off of the side of the ship.
You can't do that. There's a shield.
No. I'm not holding him over.
Okay.
I'm not holding him over. I'm pushing his back up against the railing and pushing his neck back.
Okay.
As in, if you do anything, I will drop you off.
Well, you can't drop him off the ship. You are enclosed. While time traveling, time skimmer is enclosed. Okay. Lucky for Cog.
Lucky for Cog.
Maybe he is being pressed against the glass by a vampire.
Yeah.
Pressed against the barrier that is outside of Time Skimmer. They're the closest thing to a, how would I put this? Penance stare is what Cog is looking into the eyes of a death god who he just enraged. And Glib stares just hears,
I just lost the only person that understood, and you look at me and you laugh.
Well, okay. I
Eldritch
understand
Blast
my friend made a bit of
to
a-
Eldritch Blast to Styx immediately. He tries to knock him
Oh
back.
my god!
At this point, make a strength check as Dramaticus is trying to restrain you because he's there as well.
Oh my
I wasn't
god!
Totally
expecting
forgot
this.
he
He
was
doesn't-
there.
Yeah,
Totally forgot.
he's shaken at the moment. He did just abandon his city and then see everyone's pretty shaken.
13.
13.
Everyone.
Oh,
except
okay.
Cog.
Dramaticus actually, with his mage hands, is actually able to sort of restrain you from doing anything incredibly crazy at the moment.
You can tell that Glib is actively trying to break out, and he has not blinked or broken eye contact with Cog this entire time.
All right, you ain't in the right headspace. I'll do something. And trying to replicate what he saw Vaktan do to Krieglin Shitstealer to suddenly make him see sense, Styx is just going to press his right hand on Glib's
Oh my
head
god!
and just hope
Now,
something
I'm
happens.
gonna say, since this is probably something that Glib would be resisting, you can Wisdom saving throw it.
All right, let me.
If
Holy
Glib would be
shit.
resisting this calming effect, which I do feel like he would be.
The closest
Oh
thing
my
you've ever
God.
seen to Berserker Rage is what he's feeling right now. That's 15.
I don't have. You probably don't have a spell save by any chance, do? Well, no, you might. And it would be enhanced because you got God Power, so you don't know. What's your base spell save, Mike?
Where would I find that?
Under
on D&D?
spells, and it'll be
Under
at the top.
spells. Save DC is.
Oh, yeah, so you do fail, because with God Power Enhancement, 15 is not going to be enough. So you feel sort of just a calming sensation wash over you from whatever Styx just did. And again, I'll say, like, you might know that you got a calming sensation, so you might not be happy about it, but it happens regardless.
Actively still pissed off about that.
Yeah, I figured.
Now, Cog, you want to say something?
I'm sorry, mate. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, I'm just on this ship.
I'm
I
going to
didn't mean to offend nobody.
I'm gonna hold my hands up so that Dramaticus can let go of me. And I'm slow.
After a moment, he does.
Glib slowly walks over to Cog and stares him in the eyes for what feels like an eternity, and just says, "Pray I don't leave you where we stop." And turns back and goes into the ship.
Actually, as you're turning to go into the ship, as you're like about to, walk into the lower deck, Doc and Barry, I guess, because we're going to say Barry was down there with Doc, rush up, and Doc kind of just frantically shouts to everyone who's up on the top deck, which I think is pretty much everyone at this point, because we're about to come in for a landing!
I'm gonna brace for impact.
Yeah,
Is there any way I can
bracing.
brace for impact?
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can find a place, brace for impact. Eventually, the colors on the outside of your shield start to slow down and fade before the shield drops, revealing that you guys are in what looks like a metal box. Surrounding this metal box, there are sort of strange lights that don't really seem like any sort of magic that you've seen. In fact, it almost seems like mechanical in a sense.
Mechanical.
Mercury?
Mercury looks over and shrugs, equally stunned. Doc also kind of looks around like, what? What is this? This isn't where the target was supposed to be. A moment later, out of the wall of one of these metal walls, a strange like pod on an arm extends outwards towards the ship. It seems to be like there's a little, like a crane, like the thing at the top of a crane where there's like the glass panel on an arm that reaches out. And in this is a very bored looking, just human. Kind of looks over and shouts out through some speakers on the bottom of the pod. Goes, "Ship designation?"
Time.
Time skimmer.
Time skimmer. Okay. Crew roster.
How many people got on crew? 1, 2, 3. Well, fuck. 1, 2. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
At this point,
9.
9.
you hear
8 if we're not counting the child.
you hear a voice shout out 10 as over the side of the ship the head of Bello pops out. This is why I said Momo didn't have to leave. You can play Bello if you want. This was going to happen whether you died or not.
Oh, cool. Dad! Hello, I'm Bella. What's your name? And talking to Cog and, oh my gosh, Styx.
Yeah. Styx Bradley, mercenary for hire, recently appointed Vaktan. And you are?
But I just said I was Bello. I was in space for a little bit, and you guys did hit me with your ship. I understand I am one creature, and space is so big it is hard to avoid me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's so unlucky.
How the hell did you get on here?
Again, I said you did hit me with the ship, and I have just kind of been holding on to the bottom.
Wow.
The person in the
You're
sort of
resilient.
kiosk kind of just looks and goes, okay, we've got this looks like a glib, a good bid, a darkness, a berry. Okay,
What?
that one's kind of weird. I
Did you
don't
tell
know
him
the
that?
wait, no, that's Styx Bradley. I'm sorry, I don't mean this to be racist. All the goblins kind of look the same.
But you know me.
And then the gun. That gun's not yours. Okay, that's a cog. Sorry, can you say your
just got
your full name again? I always forget it.
Yeah, it's Cog Bippin Higgin Flippin Tog.
I'm actually just gonna write cog on here. I think the
Yeah, alright,
that's
that's
good
fine.
for internal policies.
Well, you said always forget. How often do you guys do this?
Nature of reality
actually?
destruction.
Huh?
Excuse
Our
you?
reality was getting destructed. Yes, that sounds about right.
Nature of reality destruction.
Well, I think we had a good maybe 5 minutes at least. It's
And-
still there, right? He turns to it's
And
still there,
intended
right?
we'll just skip that one. Intended destination point. I mean, you probably overshot if you don't know where you're going, but
5th century.
okay, yeah. Does your ship work? You're gonna need to get that fixed. Fist, you're way too far back.
Far back?
He kind of looks up.
What time are we in?
See, we got briefed on how to answer that question, and I always forget. It's kind of like a null point. They'll give you more information when you get to your designated kiosk. I'm just here to take the incoming rosters. On that note, looks like you're going to go to Dock 3 when you get the chance.
I'm gonna look back at Mercury because
Yeah,
it very
same.
much seems like a ship dock place.
Mercury looks very confused, and he, as the guy finishes writing all this stuff down, you see that the wall in front of you, it sort of looks like, while your characters wouldn't know what this is, a garage door in a sense that begins to slowly open. And as it opens, have you guys seen those like 3D like fractal videos where it's zooming into that kind of
Yeah.
thing? What you see is, I would describe, the players have no frame of reference for what this is. What I would describe it to, or the characters have no frame of reference for what this is. What I would describe it to the players as the audience is a space station, a massive space station, just out in this blank void that looks very much like that. A series of lights shows up, kind of guiding you out of this, presumably to this Dock 3 that this guy has mentioned. And before you can protest, the guy kind of speaks up and goes, okay, like I said, you'll get more information about everything when you get to Dock 3. In the meantime, thank you for your dedication to saving the universe. Welcome to Backspace.
Welcome to.
Were we in front?
Guy goes, oh, that's very funny. I've never heard that one before.
No, he's just gonna do that. No coherent response.
I do want to talk to the frog person. I kind of forgot your name, but I got a message from SG, and I was told to meet you guys, and then you hit me with the ship. I didn't know what time was a good time to like actually kind of crawl up here, but it seemed like now was a good time.
As this is going on, by the way, Mercury, very confused, just like after a brief pause, kind of starts guiding Time Skimmer very slowly along the intended path.
Okay. Glib looks back to Bello and goes, yeah.
I lost a good friend.
SG's not here right now.
Yeah, I lost a good friend
be all
too. And I know it's really hard, so if you ever want to talk about it, I am here.
Glib cuts Bello off halfway through I lost a good friend too, and goes, SG's not gone. We're alright. We have the ship. We're fine.
We're gonna fix it.
And he turns around and starts walking back into the ship, assuming that we're going to find wherever the hell we need to end up.
Oh, that ain't healthy grieving.
As you guys continue going forward, sort of looking back, that you can see there are other gates that sort of, the other ships, some similar to Time Skimmer, some notably less so, are also kind of exiting every now and then. And as you look out at Backspace proper, you can see it is massive. Once again, it is still existing in this kind of weird dark void, notably a black void, not a white void. But it goes as far as the eye can see. And are you guys having any sort of, doing anything? I guess my question is, are you going to Dock 3 as directed, or are you going somewhere else? Mercury's going to Dock 3 unless someone tells them otherwise.
I'm going to say go to Dock 3 just because we don't know what the fuck is happening.
I figured, but I have to check for stupid decisions at this point.
Yeah. Just for context, I would say Goodbid's outburst is completely put together at this point. Like, he's back. He's seemingly normal. If you look at him too long, his eyes might seem dead. But all intents and purposes, he's back.
Mercury eventually pilots the ship into a sort of similar metal box that you were in, that is labeled Dock 3 in a language. It seems to be labeled Dock 3 in several languages, or at least, like, you can read a couple of them, and there are several more that you can't read. And as you enter this, the garage door closes behind you, and the whole room is actually plunged into solid darkness.
Splitting as
Darkness that I
no,
can't see through dark-
have
dark
magical
Well,
dark
luckily
vision.
it doesn't actually matter that much, because a second later, the back wall, which I guess, if you pulled in straight, the wall that the ship is facing, lights up. It seems to be some sort of large screen. And again, there's a person there. Let's say it's an orc, just kind of for flavor, doesn't matter, who seems to be giving some sort of informational video in some sense. Hello, adventurers! You're probably very, very confused as to where exactly you've ended up. This isn't most people's intended destination, but we do hope that you'll learn to love it here. So, as you were told by your entrance agent, welcome, of course, to Backspace. This is an interactive video presentation, so if you have any questions, feel free to shout them out, and I will answer them as best as I am programmed to.
What the fuck?
The hell's a video?
So please direct your questions one at a time.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, thanks. What the fuck?
Hello, Glib. As I said, you're probably extremely confused as to how exactly you ended up here. Well, time travel doesn't exactly work as it's supposed to, given that the god of time is dead.
I look back at Doc, who is a time traveler, and go, hey, buddy.
Doc looks also incredibly confused. Like, Doc actually just kind of, like, drops into, like, a cross-legged sitting position and starts muttering formulas under their breath, just stunned beyond belief. He goes,
Holy shit.
if
man.
your information is presented to me correctly, you attempted to return back in time to eliminate the god of dreams to save your reality from destruction due to the blank and the god of nothing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Of course, you've overshot, possibly due to a malfunctioning time machine, but rest assured you would have gotten here one way or the other regardless. Everyone here came here for essentially the same purpose, but it is, unfortunately, as best we can tell, unavoidable.
Excuse me. How many other Bellows do you know?
The orc kind of pauses on the screen for a second, going, voice pattern not recognized.
Oh shit! Bella's not supposed to be here. Oh no.
Whoop.
You said a glib. How many glibs are here?
The thing pauses for a second, looking up, and goes, exact numerical calculations not available, though I could find that upon request.
This is the request.
Please give me a moment. Do you have any other questions in the meantime as I retrieve that data for you?
Yes. So, hello, I'm Bello. What is your name?
I am a program designed for new orientation. I do not have a name per se.
Can I
What's
give
a
you one?
program?
Fair question. Yeah, I suppose you may give me a designation if you would like to refer to me to that as that for the duration of this conversation.
How about Artie? Does that work?
Designation accepted.
Artie.
Adi, so there are others of us, we know that much for sure. Do the other Styxes have this whole dealie going on
I believe
as
there
well?
are several gods of peace and wisdom here, yes. Some of them are the designation Styx Bradley, others not.
Well, now I got more questions, but I don't know how to put them. We're in such a weird situation.
I can provide more information on the location if that would be of assistance.
What we do?
Is Prophus here?
The thing kind of goes into calculations. There are several iterations of Prophus aboard the station, correct?
I look back at Callisto to see his reaction to that.
Callisto looks like almost catatonic, just frozen with... Callisto is very much the type who does not like it when he is uninformed of a situation.
Right.
And this is the most uninformed he has ever been. This is, the Nick Fury, I used to know everything and now I know nothing, times 3, right?
Glib looks back to Artie and takes a second, takes a breath, and looks up and goes, how many SGs make it to this point?
SG is one of the more common entity designations to arrive.
I'll be damned.
Excuse me. Who's the most common?
Kind of scans through and goes, it seems that the most common entity that we have aboard Backspace at the moment would be designation Raelius.
Oh.
Fuck.
We don't like that guy.
Why? What's happening? Is another bad thing happening?
I sense some hostility towards the designation Raelius. It is understandable that you would have this reaction. Generally, Raelius's arrival here is driven more by spite rather than altruism.
That tracks.
Would you call this group altruistic?
The intent was, of course, to save reality.
I suppose.
I have another question. How do we get out of backspace and back to where we were supposed to be going?
Kind of the thing sort of, looks up, gazes out again, and goes, your timeline is currently cut off from the others as it is in the middle of active destruction.
That is not ideal.
Glib looks back up to Artie. How often do we succeed?
Artie kind of pauses again and goes, perhaps a general overview of the function and purpose of Backspace would be helpful in this scenario. Backspace originally was built by a group similar to you, who realized that possibly the only way to delete or prevent the entire deletion of the universe was to go back and prevent it at the start with the survival of the original gods. They, of course, failed and were stuck in this time, therefore building this space station. However, time, of course, continued without them, and the space station persisted as well until the secondary end of the universe. Of course, during that iteration of reality, there was another group of heroes who attempted the same plan, looping back into the same point and expanding the station. This has continued cyclically into... Oh, come on, don't ruin my freaking line like that. Oh, well. This has continued cyclically into a sort of infinite causal loop, as it were, with reality inevitably always failing, yet certain times groups of survivors persisting to return to the origination of time, which is of course where we are now, and building onto backspace, hence the name. You return back to this point every time, and it grows with each iteration. Therefore, you have never succeeded in this, though ultimately your survival is in some way a success. Congratulations on that.
So this is our new reality.
Until it is inevitably
then?
destroyed by the blank and the loop begins again.
But that's a long
Yes.
time from now.
Well, but that can't be true because I'm not supposed to be here, it seems, by your records.
Voice designation not recognized.
Shit.
Now you are you physically can't understand them, or are you question dodging?
I am
Genuine
programmed
question.
to respond to known designations.
What are all of your known designations?
Artie begins a list of a lot of names, some of which you recognize as yourselves, Raelius, Prophus Callisto, some other names that you've just heard kind of randomly. Emmy is notably on the list, along with a bunch of other names that you do not know.
What happens to us now?
If they got
We hope that you can live a fulfilling life in this area.
You just are abandoning us in whatever the hell this is? We do nothing now?
The screen shifts to show what seems to kind of be like, think of it sort of as like a tourism sales pitch of all like the amenities and things that Backspace has to offer, none of which you understand because it is very, very, very futuristic. Essentially, the Artie also kind of gives you a general explanation of originally and in some iterations, the world lasts longer than it does for you, and technology had a chance to advance. And so when it reset, the technology came from the furthest possible point down, even though you're at the beginning of time.
Right.
I have a question. So looking around, do we see other ships other than Skyscammer, or do we just see various iterations of Skyscammer?
Upon the entry, you are in your designated dock now, but when you were going into the dock, there were definitely other ships that you did not recognize.
Okay.
But out of character, that would. So let me grasp this shit.
Yeah.
Time travel's never easy.
I'm really
The
glad that
first
people had the
go-around.
reaction to Backspace being a place that I wanted. That reaction was, I saw people in chat confused, which is good.
So every single person that lives on this spaceship is us and whatever person we happen to bring along on whatever run at trying to save the world.
Not necessarily always you, but correct. Essentially, what happens here is the world is on a cycle where inevitably the world is created somehow, the gods are created, and then stuff happens, the blanks show up and delete it. But in a lot of iterations, yes,
There are people who go back
in time to try and fix it. But because at some and this is, again, we can say that Artie canonically explained this. So this is, any added information is just added to that thing in hindsight. Since the god of time gets destroyed at one point in the past, it messes things up. And
for all.
yeah, and it is possibly notable that, like, since Doc was trying to go back to a point after the God of Time died, like, Doc's trip was contained within one thing. You guys are sort of, because your time machine broke, are kind of traveling the barrier and sort of trying to cross this point where time broke is the issue. To some extent, and I can explain that better when we get into, like, you time traveling again if that happens. But yes, essentially what this is you guys, whoever is around at the end of time and escapes, loops back to this, like, pocket dimension, builds onto it, and then it is inevitably keeps growing as the universe keeps getting destroyed in this cycle. So you guys live, but everyone else in reality keeps dying every time.
Okay, that makes sense. After seeing the little advertisement that were shown, Glib cuts it off while he's still trying to do the advert part of it, and goes, wait, are you telling me that my friend died, that my friends betrayed me, that all of this happened, I come back to fix it, and the only consolation for me you have is to tell I die here? There was no success and there never has been.
Unfortunately, that is ultimately what I can tell you at the moment. We have done this cycle many, many times, and we have not, as of yet, found a way out of it. Most have given up.
Ain't that a kick in the head?
Glib kind of just dissociates at this and just kind of stares off.
Before I say what I was gonna say, how many Mr. Goodbeards have said, "Well, you haven't tried with me yet"?
Smart question. Very smart question.
Artie says, "You would be the first." Very obviously lying, just trying to make you feel better.
Well, I'm the first. And, well, you haven't tried with me yet. That's actually true.
Voice designation not recognized.
That's true. Voice designation. What's your name, darling?
My name is Bello.
Voice designation, Bello. Butterfly creature.
Artie kind of, looks off, presumably scanning through records. Goes, I am not seeing an entity like this in my records.
But
so you're saying we're special? Different?
Actually, I think
unplanned.
Artie is saying I'm special. He said you're ordinary.
Of course.
Actually, many times.
Okay.
I'm about to do
All right.
something very, very, very wild that I think is going to catch everybody off guard, including Momo, because I did not know that she would be playing Bello at this stage. I thought Bello was going to be an NPC. But at this point, Artie kind of a thing pops out of the wall and scans Bello. Before Artie looks kind of confused, as much as the AI can look confused. I mean, it's an AI of a few. It looks confused. He goes, "What exactly is this entity that you have brought with you?"
Well, I am a chaos butterfly.
The thing sort of kind of looks up and down. Goes, "Entity designation not recognized. Shows remarkable similarities to," and then sort of voice changes as if it's sort of putting in a filler for a word that it doesn't necessarily have, computer something to do. "God of space."
That snaps Glib out of it for a second and looks back at Bello.
Things just got interesting.
Bello, by the way, you don't know
telling me
this.
you've never seen this
This
before?
is news to you as well.
You're telling me in the loop of all of time and space you've never seen anything like this?
Again, Mr. Goodbeard, the time and space gods have been registered as deceased for an extremely long time.
Well, I'm very alive.
Are you telling?
Okay.
And we hit him with our ship too.
Yeah.
You're telling me we hit the god of space with a ship?
We are back in it.
Goodbeard sees an opportunity here. Now there's ways that he can do.
We got something they don't got.
Wait, Bello, was it?
Yes.
You got tops or tails? Were you aware of this?
News to me. It's my first time here.
Oh, well.
apparently.
Well, join in on the surprise party, I
I'm
suppose.
from not
Okay.
here, so I don't really understand, how I could also be the god of space.
The AI doesn't respond. It doesn't really seem to know either. At this point, Callisto speaks up, though, because he's been kind of analyzing and thinking through this. He goes, "Artie, the problem with all of this and the plan as it stood was that the god of time was dead, correct? And that was changing all the plans?" "Yes, that is correct. If the god of space is somehow still alive, Could the god of time maybe still be alive as well? And Artie thinks first and goes, I suppose that is a possibility, though a very unlikely one.
Well, weirder things have happened. And if I am me, maybe the god of time is similar to me. I have bet they're real swell.
Artie does not respond to this. Still not really.
I think everything about our crew here is pretty unlikely. That's kind of the zone we operate in.
I mean, more gods per capita than your average outing, I suppose.
You are slightly above average in that regard. Yes, congratulations.
Slightly.
Can I go back to I'm gonna look back at Artie and go, what's the calculation on how many of me have been here?
Kind of calculate for a second. Over the course of the entirety of Backspace, though many have lived and died, I suppose I should ask, would you like the total calculation of how many have been here in the past, or how many are active on the station currently?
Been here.
1,337.
How often is Glib a member of the ship that arrives?
Approximately 63% of the time. I'm making up these numbers entirely, but like the 63% of the time can stay, but for the big number, it's an infinite space station of a loop. It's a big number, so don't take it as 1,330. I just said something.
Right. Okay. Glib's trying to get a vibe for how many times we've tried this, because optimism is slowly dying within him.
Oh, many
yeah,
times.
He's trying to get
might be good. It might be good for you if you could see your friend again.
People are saying I was expecting more. That was a number I made up. That's not. It's a big number.
Disregard the 1,000.
Disregard that. I just made that. I wasn't expecting that question directly. I forgot it was asked. So ignore that. It was just a big number.
How many people have been here?
Yeah,
Excuse me. I have 2 questions for you, Artie. So, how many of the people that come here are just SG by themselves?
SG solo?
Yes.
SG solo run?
Solo the universe.
Solo travels to Backspace are difficult for a number of reasons. I believe there are a few records of an SG designation accomplishing this, but it is not common.
Well, are they still here?
There are many SGs aboard the station, yes. I would have to search my records to find if any solo adventures have been successful in this recent time.
Well, please look for that. And I have another one. Are there any canyons that come that are nice?
Define nice.
Ouch.
Like, did it try to hurt me or my other friends?
There are many canyon designations of varying morality levels.
Well, are there any canyons that are like me?
Define like you.
Like nice.
Things kind of scans goes, designation still unknown. Cannot define nice in this context.
Oh, well, can someone help me out here?
Oh, I have a couple thoughts on what nice would entail. I reckon loyal, not a betraying type, not too killy. Is this accurate?
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
What you would consider nice? Yeah.
Not one with like a murderous concealed rage.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Pause before you answer, Matt. The name Canyon is a reference to a slaughter.
That is very true.
That you can't go that way.
A defining feature of the canyon designation is a propensity towards violence. However, I believe there are canyon designations that have not committed violence on these entities specifically.
Okay, well that's good news, right?
It's all good news.
Glib is still dissociating. He looks up at Bello and very coldly, you can tell he has been completely shut off at this point, just says, "There's no such thing as a canyon." That is nice.
Ooh, and Nikhil's
There's
in
no
the
such
chat
thing.
too.
Exactly. And Glib stands up and says, "There's no such thing as a canyon that deserves you, and there's no such thing as a canyon that deserves to live." He is very hurt.
Okay.
Yikes.
Well, there might be one of SGs that are here that's by themselves, and I'm sure they're very excited to see you again.
Artie, are there any SGs who perhaps lost their good bid and glib?
Artie, does the little scan. Given that there are SG solo appearances, I would assume so.
Any here
I
present?
do not have the entire biographies of everyone available at the moment, only what they choose to share with me. But I can possibly put you in touch with the solo SG arrivals, if you would like.
Would love that.
A little thing kind of like pops out of the wall and gives you like what I would again describe to the players and the audience as a tablet that the characters have no frame of reference for.
Thank you for this box. What does it do?
The box the tablet lights up a bit with a like what looks like a a little animation of like a finger touching it, sort of to indicate this is a touchscreen. A menu opens up, and on the screen immediately are some series of like number codes that you don't really know.
Well, I'm going to have to take a look at this. But thank you. I'm not sure mentally if this is all new. Replacing an SG with an SG from a different timeline, which technically she was already not from this timeline or something. Not sure. But, and he beams in Bello's direction. You are our key. I'm so glad you're here, Bello.
Thank you. People usually don't tell me they're happy I'm here.
Oh, I am elated that you are here.
Callisto kind of walks over to Bello at this point and goes, "So, were you not going to tell us that you were some sort of space god of any kind? Did you not think that was helpful information?"
Well, I didn't know that until right now.
He kind of puts his head in his hands together and goes, "Are you aware of the location of any sort of time gods that might resemble you in any capacity?"
1 second. Excuse me, Artie, am I aware of any time gods that might resemble me in any pattern?
Artie, after pausing for like longer than usual to respond to a question, kind of goes, "If needed, I can provide a list of unique designations if you would like to investigate this matter further."
Yes, please. That'd be very helpful. Does that answer your question, Mr. Callisto?
Callisto thinks for a second and just goes, "No, but fine." By the way, good bid. Your tablet updates with. Oh, is he even here? I don't know, but his tablet updates with a second set of designations.
Glib, very despondently, not really responding to anything, walks over to Doc, who I'm assuming is still losing it, and kneels down, starting to ignore the rest of the party and Artie entirely, and goes, Doc.
Doc looks up and stops muttering for a moment.
And Glib looks at him very seriously, very much in denial, and goes, "How much longer until you have that thing at 100%?
Doc kind of like stands up and just sort of nods and like walks slowly, more like less animated than you've ever seen Doc. Seemingly walks, to go check on it.
Okay. Glib follows him. Glib walks in with him to go and see what the damage is.
The machine, you didn't see the machine before it activated, but like Doc kind of looks at it and pokes some of the readouts and goes, "I don't know what any of this means. It's like the physics are not the same as they were 20 minutes ago.
Glib looks at him and, how long until you can understand it?
It's like they're changing in some sort of way. I couldn't give you an estimation.
Doc, I need the time machine.
Perhaps I should just
And
give up on this whole thing. Perhaps start some sort of Zen meditation business or something.
Glib snaps in front of where Doc is standing. Doesn't raise his voice or anything, but does the same thing he did with Cog. Just pops up in front of where Doc is standing and goes, Doc, you need to fix this. Now.
I'm going to try.
To do it.
Doc starts kind of just like pushing a button every now and then, clearly not knowing what to. If you want to try to like insight or arcana check, or actually probably just flat knowledge check to see if you can get any sense of like the readout, or you can just let Doc to it. That's up to you.
Glib's gonna leave Doc to it because he has snapped into a level of denial and adherence to the mission that he is now just going, this is just a detour. This is just a detour. Doc needs to fix the time machine, and then we'll go back and finish the mission. That's all we need. That's all we need. And as Doc starts working on it, Glib turns and walks out.
Was anyone asking Artie questions while this little conversation is going on?
Do any sticks somehow make it to this point without having the Vaktan power business?
Artie kind of scared and goes, there are realities in which another one of your little group gains the powers instead, and therefore you, much like your cog has arrived, sort of the role reversal in a sense.
Oh. As an intrusive thought, Styx thinks about asking if that includes being a virgin, but he thinks against it. The wisdom of Vaktan, of Ubin, takes over. No, not the time, not the vibe. Well, good for you, Kyle.
Goodbit is trying to figure out this tablet. Is there? I don't know if it's like a perception check, but we're in a dock. Presumably, do people? And I guess I could ask Artie this: do people live here? Is this like a place to?
This is one of your designated ship docks, yes. However, this is, of course, a full sort of place for those who have time traveled back to spend the rest of their existences, yes.
Interesting. So there's infinite rooms and amenities and everything for people who just decide to stay
Correct.
in the backspace.
Human people like us or like them or what have you built this? Like, just people? Because this seems pretty goddamn advanced.
Artie kind of launched into another spiel about, again, like, the tech comes from farther down, realities that existed farther down the line. Also, there are, like, a bunch of gods that, like, Barry is here, and Barry's the god of metal. Like, there are gods of metal and things like that that can advance the technology more effectively. Well, you haven't asked that yet, so never mind. There's another question that kind of spins off that, but I won't give it to you unless you ask it yourself, because you'll find out either way.
Okay.
Goodbit's trying to figure out this tablet, seeing if any solo SGs.
You sort of figure out how to do it. You figure out how to pull up some level of what you think is a map, but since the geometry of this place is so wildly different than anything you've seen before, you don't really know how to read it yet. The designation, I'll go ahead and say, by sort of scanning your allies, they bring up similar number codes to the codes that you've been given. So you can figure out that those are, you have the designation codes of who you're looking for, but you don't really know how to use them yet. But you're starting to get the hang. You know how, like, the touchscreen works at this point. At this point, Glib, I'm assuming, is back above deck. Is any, okay, we'll say that. Artie goes, are there any final questions? There is one more piece of information that I need to get to you before you are able to go about your way, but I will open the floor up for questions one more time.
So if we find a time god, we could just leave?
Artie pauses and goes, if theoretically you were able to find the existence of a living time god and restore said god's abilities in some sense or another, I suppose that would be a possibility. But of course, this is all purely theoretical.
Well, is it possible that Doc is just a time god that forgot how to do the time stuff?
Doc is not a time god.
How do you know that, though?
The AI starts going off on like this huge sort of metaphysics, arcane logic spiel about how Godforce works that you don't understand, but clearly they know something.
Yeah, he said something about copyright purposes. I don't really get it.
Out of character, is it implied that we can't leave now that we're here? Like we've gone too far and without getting a time god, like we're here?
It seems like that, yes. Not because, in a sense of not like you are captured and brought here, in a sense that no one knows how to leave other than just letting time flow as it's, normally would.
Okay.
And again, like all you really know about this place is it is some sort of pocket reality, and that's about it. It's a pocket reality that exists at the beginning of time. How that's possible, you don't know.
And once you get here, you're here. And the time gods are dead, so you can't get out. Okay, that's...
Well, do you know how the time god died?
The time god was eliminated by the god of nothing and his agents.
Typical.
Were you under the impression that the god of space wasn't alive? Because that's clearly not true.
Correct. It is quite surprising. I am going to chalk it up to a coincidence in physics.
A coincidence?
A similar energy signature.
Well, if my understanding's right, you done some more than 1,000 times, way bigger than 1,000. And something happened here never happened before. Surely that's a little bit more than peculiar. A bit more ramification.
I agree entirely, and this will be a matter we investigate further.
Oh.
Who's we?
Well, the leadership of Backspace, of course.
Yep.
Oh, can we talk to them?
They were actually on their way to meet you right now.
Oh, interesting.
Is that a good
okay, I guess we
thing
just
or
wait
a
here
bad
then.
thing?
If you are concerned as to whether this is something to do with your unique designation, that is a matter for later. There is actually another in your party who warrants the attention of the leader of this system.
Another?
That being?
On that
Speaks
note,
up for the first time in 10 minutes.
we'll make that a very sort of dramatic segue. A small door, well, I mean, I say small, like a human-sized door in this much larger building kind of opens up on the sides.
There's a lot of short people in our party.
It's a regular human-sized door. And a figure steps out. A very, very, very strange, kind of like, this figure is wearing a suit. So, Goodbid probably immediately thinks a bit more of them. But the figure's skin is gray and kind of shifting a little bit. Like it's moving, not entirely stable. The suit is more solid, but everything else is like almost cloudy in a sense. But it seems to be an adult figure that speaks and goes,
I'll take it from here.
Hello.
At this point, the figure...
Was that Dream?
That was
Tell me, are you using that voice intentionally?
I
or
was
is
using
just
that voice intentionally, yes.
Okay.
A bridge kind of extends out. Roll up an insight check on this. Actually, I'm going to say... everyone can roll an insight check on this.
Insight.
Oh, right. That's a not 20.
Not 20.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bello...
I got 28.
Bello, the person who would probably have the least way of knowing this, but Goodbid as well... This shocking resemblance to what you would imagine an adult Emmy looked like.
Now wait just a minute. What might we call you?
So the figure kind of chuckles and goes,
You can call me Emerald.
Right. Everyone catch that.
Me?
Oh my god, it's like that one, but bigger.
You didn't think this space station hid itself, did you?
Wait. Glib, even more confused than before.
The space station exists at the same point as the nothingness. I am the reason it survives.
Glib looks up at him. Very, very despondent at the moment, and just, how long have you been here, buddy?
Quite a while.
And
I
who
was
did you
one of
come
the
with?
first.
Who was your group?
It was a group led by Raelius.
Ooh. Ooh.
What does that mean for you?
Did you come back with the god cursed?
I believe that was the name that they proposed, yes.
Ooh.
Might have an evil version of Glib's kid.
Glib is going to back up to where he knows Emmy is on the ship, trying to get in between adult Emmy and the Emmy that we have.
As that happens, the room goes dark, and you hear distinctly louder and larger footsteps before you hear a small yelp, and both of the lights reappear to find both versions of Emmys are gone.
So Bello can see in magical darkness.
I believe that definitely Emerald's like adult Emmys, darkness supersedes this.
No.
Because it's not really as much darkness as it's just... I never really described this, but it's not really as much darkness as just removing the ability of your mind to perceive your surroundings. That's what it actually is in lore. Because he's the god of secrets, so he's basically cutting off all of your information perception. It's not darkness.
They both disappear?
They both disappear, but a moment later, the adult one reappears in front and doesn't say anything, just... Well, it does say,
apologies for the intrusion.
What was that?
Glib's eyes immediately start glowing and just...
Where is he? For the security of the station, all designations with the God of Secret's power must be monitored. Do not worry, he will be taken very good care of. I would not harm myself in any iteration.
Glib's eyes start glowing even brighter and just repeats,
Where?
after a moment, you kind of see like a slight smirk appear on Emerald's face. He goes,
I really wouldn't worry about it. There's no point. And genuinely, welcome to backspace.
before vanishes.
This shit is fucked.
you just
I'm just
left
gonna say it before
the
anyone else
angriest
does.
being in the universe in an enclosed space.
I'm just gonna say it before anyone else does. I did not care for that guy.
Glib is vibrating with rage. What has happened in the last 20 minutes has
Yep.
completely shattered him mentally.
Yep. You didn't think you were going to get away with no trauma in the season finale, did you? Not as much fighting as you could have had.
Dude, SG is dead. He
SG's
already
dead.
has a good amount of trauma.
Emmy's gone somewhere. You guys are trapped in a space station at the beginning of time. Bellows here. That one's not as traumatic, but Bellows here.
Where did Emerald come out? By the way, I'm going to designate them as Emerald and Emmy.
Yeah,
so
that's
you know
why
the
I
difference.
said it like that. Yeah.
Where did Emerald come out of? Was it a door on the wall?
There was a door on the wall. It's vanished again, but like if you look at it, it seems like it's a door that's like well integrated. It's not like it was a magic door that appeared. It's just it's a door that's there. You know, it's futuristic stuff.
Wordlessly, Glib starts walking towards the door.
The door opens as you go towards it.
He's just gonna keep going. He's gonna try. He's starting his search. He's starting to look around.
Are other people following?
Yeah.
I mean, when in Rome.
Mercury and Barry kind of pause and goes, we'll catch up with you later. I get Artie's away. We can find them. Artie kind of nods. We're just going to make sure everything is in order with the ship. And that way, if we do figure out a way to get out of here, we can do so.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Glib did not hear this. He already left.
Yeah, I figured. So on that note, the rest of you guys make your way out to explore the vast expanse that is Backspace, looking for Emmy, looking for maybe some sort of living time god in a gigantic futuristic space station. And I believe that might, unless anyone has anything they really want to do right now, that might be where we call season 2. Not a
Holy
fight
shit.
finale, but I'm pleased. I'm pleased with the position that we are in.
Good.
Wait till you
I
guys.
have
I'm gonna
No
give you,
idea how we were even going to fight anything.
Oh yeah, there wasn't really a lot of fighting in there. There were ways that it could have happened.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna scare the heck out of you guys. Wait till you meet Warlord Blob.
Wow.
There are variants
I
that are
can't
gonna be
wait.
very good. I'll go
my
ahead and tell you
God,
as you guys
right,
look.
the characters that were supposed to be in episode 1 that never actually showed up.
Warlord Blob is gonna be there. Actually, I'll say if you want. There are the species that Blob and the Kraken are has survived in this place. There are notably Gold Glib, a version of Gold Glib is gonna be here. There are versions of the B team here. There are characters you've never met. There are God cursed variations.
Oh my God, is Dave here somewhere?
Potentially Dave and other basically
yeah, I love
every
Dave.
player and NPC that has ever been in the campaign could show up in Backspace in multiple versions.
Right. I want to see the run where fucking Rolf is on
Yeah,
this crew.
Rolf is.
Styx is one thing. Fucking Rolf making it. To
Because I can literally do whatever I want in this. I kind of want to make a reality in which Rolf snaps and becomes like mad scientist, insect druid, wizard master. that might happen.
That's amazing.
If every single convenience store doesn't have Goodbrid branding on it, then what am I even doing in this Backspace?
By the way, someone said Ranger Glib. Ranger Glib. There's definitely a Ranger version of Glib out there. There are probably one or
there's
two.
a Ranger SG.
Yeah, there are
here,
Ranger
too.
versions
There's
of
a
all of you
Ranger
for
SG.
sure. There are human versions of Glib on the station at some point. And I should say, the station is diverse enough, so it's not like you're going to meet like 20 different versions of one character in one place. But yes, it's going to be quite a
I'm
time.
gonna save my commentary on that for the after show. God
Okay,
damn.
yeah. But yeah, that is. I've been teasing the title name of Backspace for a couple weeks. I'm curious for the players. Was anyone expecting it to be a location?
No. I thought it was a joke
No.
on the fact we were going to be going and rewriting history.
Yeah.
I didn't
Good.
think it was actually
I
a
did
fucking
it.
play.
I played it exactly as I wanted to.
There was none of this that I saw coming at all.
I will take that as a compliment for sure.
You gave an in-depth explanation of why you chose the name,
Yeah.
and there was no
Yeah.
hint of this
Nope.
and that.
Yeah.
So of course not.
Yeah, this was it was a
expected.
fake out.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to hear anything else, you can definitely check it out on
Yeah,
our
I'll
after
sh-
show that
I'll
will be
shut
posted
up for
at
more.
some point.
But yeah, now we get to make you guys wait to see season 3 for a couple of months. And we'll see
Yeah.
exactly how it goes. I might, and I'll talk to you guys about this. We might, depending on how you guys feel, time skip it if we want. Like, you guys have been on Backspace for a bit looking around for things to time to get ingrained. Or we can start right off. Maybe we do like the first session of we do kind of an Avengers Endgame thing where the first session is right after, and then there's like a time skip between 1 and 2. We'll figure that out.
I mean, we do have
that idea.
Spotify theories that we hadn't had a chance to read in the last couple of
Oh yeah, go for that, and then we'll.
Absolutely, I'm absolutely positive none of them are close.
Oh, I don't
of
think
them are
anyone was predicting where I was going with this. I'll save my little lore beats for the after show, but
Pay for the after show. Make them pay for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Make them pay. It's
So
like
we had a theory from Darth Xerxes. What if Doc is Dream, and is he mastermind Was he the mastermind from the beginning?
Oh no, Doc has no
I'm
idea
pretty
what's
sure
going
that
on.
was proven false, unfortunately. But that was a good theory. That would have been good. Let's see. Let's see. Ty.L.V says, I feel like the blank are going to be defeated, and when they fall, the space around Vontrel will reveal the prime gods imprisoned, or whoever is in charge of the blank will turn them against the party.
Really close, actually.
That was
really close. Because I'll go ahead and tell you this: the thing,
close.
and this is because you could figure this out. The thing that you met, the god of nothing, was what killed the prime gods. So and maybe also created them. So not going to talk about the reasoning for that yet, but like. Yeah, that was shockingly accurate. Because with the description of the space around, like breaking down, that was very good. Whoever did that, good job.
It's Ty.L.V.
Good job, Ty.L.V.
Let's see. Every player, including Baldric, will return for the season finale for a massive battle. That was by ISO Gay.
Theoretically, everyone's available.
You know what? Kind of.
Not entirely wrong. I mean, the Rangers exist. The Rangers exist in backspace. If you think I'm not going to put Power Rangers Time Force jokes in there, you're very wrong. There's going to be a lot of Time Force jokes. And we're going to have like a Power Rangers Part 2, but they're not going to be Mystic Force. They're going to be Time Force this time.
This one that's kind of close. I can't even say the username because it's just a bunch of letters and numbers.
Nice.
Like, that are crazy. But they say the blank aren't actually deleting anything. They're putting them in the dimensions of space and time.
Interesting. I like it. Not right, but I like it.
They are indeed dead.
They're in the they're in the same place as the space and time. Well, not really, I guess. They're in the same places where people thought the space and time gods were, but Bello, in some capacity, is some, who knows? Who knows where they are?
Eleanor Menzel says, through time travel stuff combined with Godforce Ascension, Specs becomes Voktan. Maybe.
Wrong, but
Maybe.
there could be a Voktan Specs in backspace. It's entirely possible.
He deserves it.
There could be. I'm really excited for. I'll talk about a species that is in backspace in the after show. Because that's not spoilers. It's just like a lore thing that is there. So I'll save that. There's a lot of fun stuff there.
Yeah. Mini Studio says that during backspace, Glib unknowingly kills the vampire that bit him, but doing that prevents Glib from going on adventures in the first place, so he is forced to bite the past Glib to prevent a paradox.
Jesus.
I like that a lot, actually.
Wow,
The
that's a really cool idea.
The self-biting Glib.
God damn. Why do y'all want this man to hurt so much? Fuck.
And that's all that we're going to read for now. If we decide to read more, it'll be on the Patreon, but I'm not guaranteeing you we will.
All right. In that case, let's again. Season 3 of D&Dorks is early 2023. I know that's vague and I know that's a long time out, but I know at least 2 of us are looking for jobs right now, so the status of that is we're going to see how it works. But we are not leaving you hanging for several months. There is mid-season content planned, primarily done by Nathan. Nathan, do you want to do the your little spiel again?
Yes. So I will be running a 3-shot campaign bi-weekly starting on November 18th, and in between those weeks we'll be doing fun little one-shots and stuff like that. To give you context to what it would be, in good bid fashion, it is all about business, although the story is entirely unrelated to this one. Basically, what would happen if billionaires could all get on a game show to become even richer billionaires? Come find out. Our players will be playing those people.
It's going to be excellent. Again, that is not starting next week. We are taking a sort of week off because Nathan's thing is unrelated lore-wise. We're taking a week off to like distance it from Vontrel. It does not take place in Vontrel. It is separate, a world of Nathan's creation.
Completely.
I'm going to be a player. The cast for that is me, Momo, Panda, and Nathan. That is the setup cast for. Do you want to say the name?
It'll be on this channel.
I'll leave that
by the way.
up to
People
you.
have been asking that.
Oh yes, yes. It will be. Unless something changes, which I don't think it will be on same channel, same time. The YouTube and Spotify will be uploaded to the same place. It will have different branding to keep it separate from everything else that's going on. But otherwise, it is a mid-season miniseries is what it is.
Mid-season miniseries.
And that starts 2 weeks from today. There will also be at least one, maybe two one-shots in the mid-season as well. I know I've been talking about like a non-canon battle royale one-shot that is in the world of Vontrell and has characters from Vontrell, but again, 100% non-canon. That is still in the cards at some point. I don't have a schedule for that at some point, but that will be another sort of mid-season piece of content. So again, we are not leaving you guys hanging for several months until season 3. We do have merch. We have shirts, we have hoodies, we have stickers. I am curious. I want, and I haven't made the design for this yet, if I made, and I'll wait to do this after I make like the Backspace logo, if I made a Welcome the Backspace shirt or hoodie, would people want that? Because I like that line. I want to make that just for me. So if people, you don't have to tell me that now. You can say that in the Discord if you want. But that's something I've been considering doing. So if you're interested in that or any other, like now that season 2 is done, if there are any other piece, okay, people are saying they would buy it. So maybe once I have the Backspace logo, I'll make like a Welcome the Backspace kind of catchphrase shirt hoodie thing. And we'll put that in the merch. Speaking of other things you can do to support us, Momo, you want to cover the Patreon?
Yeah, if you want to support us, you can support us on Patreon. We have 2 tiers at the moment. We have War tier, which is $1. You don't get nearly as much as you would get for the other tiers, but you do get character sheets at the beginning of the season, as well as updated character sheets with every subsequent season, with every subsequent leveling up. You also get access to our Patreon exclusive Discord, and you get some funny extra bits when we pepper them in here and there. For God tier, you do get our after show, as well as everything in War tier. You also will get some DMing advice for resident DMs, which would be Matt and Nathan.
Ignore me frantically looking around because I dropped my D20. I love how Reggie like get some advice in the resident DMs. I'm over here hunched over like, where did I drop my dice? My first tip is don't drop your dice. That's a freebie. Oh my god, I found it. Okay, we're good.
And you get some other goodies too, but I think most people get it for the after show, and that's all well and good.
All right, awesome.
Oh, we also have a podcast if you prefer audio version.
Yes, we have these available on YouTube and Spotify. This episode will be up again Wednesday, right? I'll download it tonight or tomorrow.
Wednesday.
So yeah, I believe that is everything. Unless anyone has anything else they want to say. Mike, thank you again for being here. We'll talk about season 2 stuff, figure out what the schedule is for that. Not season 3. We are going to talk about season 2 stuff in the after show. But that's not what I was referring to with Mike. But yeah, we'll talk about that, figure out scheduling for anything. If you would like to be on, that might be an option. Again, we have lots of time before then, so not going to nail down any schedules or castings for season 3 yet, but just know that it is something I'm considering and we'll figure it out. I hope you all enjoyed the finale. I hope you all enjoyed season 2. I hope you are confused in a good way as to what is going to be happening next, because I think it's going to be very, very, very fun. I get to really go wild in season 3. Like I haven't been saying that for months now. But yeah, on that note, thank you all so much for being here. Have a great rest of your night and rest of your weekend. And we will see you in 2 weeks for the first episode of Nathan's mid-season show. Have a good rest of your night, everybody.
Heck yeah.